Wow, that desync is very fun.
That?
Yeah, that's you beating off, actually.
It is.
Yeah.
I have to go up here because my pee-pee so big. Hey guys, welcome to the Media Hope Podcast. We're in person.
I refuse to look at the camera.
Fuck you.
I will not do it.
We're in person. Again. But for the first time for you.
We're half vaccinated, and that's the best we can do right now.
Good enough for us. And also we're clearly, as you can see by the center of the frame, extremely socially distanced.
Actually, as you can see in the middle here, this is actually stretched.
Mm-hmm.
We are touching tips on the microphones.
Don't
actually.
tell them. I had to make the entire background with the chairs
Yeah.
and the bookshelf.
Yeah, that's actually
CG.
it's CG, but it's actually very flat. It's, it's a green screen over there.
Yeah.
Anyways, do you see the plot of that?
Of Disney's TM Cruella TM?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I didn't. Explain it to me.
So, everyone needs to go find this clip. It is everywhere.
Yeah.
Of the reason why she hates Dalmatians is because her fake mother or something.
I thought it was her real mom.
I have no idea.
Okay.
Because when I saw like the whole roundup of it, they switched between fake mother and real mother, and it didn't make sense.
Oh.
So some mother figure to her releases the three dogs to go attack her for some reason, and she runs outside, and her other mother is there very dramatically telling some rich man, he's like, I cannot be with you because of my, I don't know, I can't remember. And then the Dalmatians jump over young Emma Stone and pounce on Cruella's mom and
toppling her over a cliff
into raging watery depths,
killing her.
Yeah. So in the movie, though, as it goes on, she doesn't have an issue with dogs.
Yeah.
She has that dog in the beginning she loves. But this is the part that gets me, is the three dogs. It claims this in the thing I read, but the three dogs that kill her mom, it says she adopts them, but there's no way, because the movie, like when it goes to the future, it's like 20 years later. So the dogs wouldn't be alive.
Yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, so she doesn't actually hold a grudge against the Dalmatians and the dogs.
Apparently,
That's what the whole story tells you.
the children of those dogs she gives to the...
Yeah, to
which
Anita
means,
and so whatever his name is.
I think John.
Yeah. She gives them the children of the dogs. Which
means
second?
The 101 Dalmatians are inbred.
Oh, man. Yeah, so she gives them the puppies, which then she decides to go and murder later on. But she's apparently very loving to dogs the whole time.
I feel like nobody knew how to make this movie.
Mm-hmm. I feel like making an entire prequel story.
I think you should have just made it Joker, but Cruella.
She should have ended as a villain, but instead they were like, no, she's a hero. She's a good person. And who just... But it's like, yeah, but then she wants to skin 101 puppies. Also, why not wait till they're fully grown? You have a lot more skin to work with then.
Yeah.
It's stupid.
I really love that we've decided to create a redemption arc for a character named Cruel Devil.
Yeah. And the reason why she comes up with that name is because, like, it's...
Wait, is that her not real?
That is not her name.
That's not her birth name?
No, Cruella is a fake name as well that she took because it, like, has part of her real name in it. I can't remember. I think her real name is, like, Amelia. And DeVille is literally because she is walking down the road while I guess she comes up with her name and looks over to the side and sees a car with DeVille on the side. And she's like, Cruella DeVille. That's cool. It's Han Solo. It's the Han Solo thing from Solo. Where he's like, what's your name? Han. What's your last name? I don't have one. I'm
Who are
alone.
your people?
Solo then.
You'd think everyone would be called Solo then.
I just would... That movie would have been better just for one... If he bumbled it out himself. If he was like, "What's your name, Han? What's your who's your people? What's your last name? Whatever," and he's just like, "Oh shit. Well, I'm alone right now, so I don't know."
Well, especially because that
Solo.
scene, his fucking longtime girlfriend just got caught.
Yeah.
So like him saying he's alone is weird. You'd think he'd be like, "I'm Han. This girl's last name or name or like whatever," right?
Yeah.
If you're actually in love with her, which it seems like he was in the entire film.
Yeah.
My name's Han Amelia Clark.
What a beautiful last name. Amazing. I cannot wait to have our little Amelia Clark children.
She's gorgeous. She's
She
so
is.
pretty.
It sucks that, she got famous from a bad show, but that's...
Whatever. I mean, she's good in it.
I would like her to continue doing other things, but I feel like she hasn't been in anything.
I don't know. I think she's gotten a bunch of stuff recently.
Actually,
Yeah, probably.
like I feel like Jason Momoa has more of a career than she does now.
Yeah, but Jason Momoa got out when The Getting Out was good.
Yeah, season 1.
Yeah.
And he also is literally like he's in like 4 episodes.
Yeah.
Or like he's acts in like 3 episodes and then he's a corpse for like a full episode, just literally like
Yeah.
lying there because he gets brain damaged.
Yeah, I mean, Game
Yeah.
of Thrones isn't that great.
My sister is like, I don't know why you say that. The ending was great. And I'm like, oh, you're an idiot.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
But in case you don't know, hey guys, this is the Media Hole Podcast. This is a weekly podcast in which me and my co-host Ian talk about the newest news in movies and television and video games and comic books and the like. Yeah.
I think she might have taken some time off from acting.
Oh.
Because
that would be a thing to do.
she was in like 2 movies. She was in a movie every year from like 2012.
She was in that movie Last Christmas.
Yeah, that was the last movie she
That movie's
did.
fucking dog shit.
And then there's a movie coming out called The Amazing Maurice, which is in 2022. She's in it. I guess it's in post-production because it's a voice role. So it's a animated movie. It's by Sky Cinema.
Yeah.
I've never heard of this. Oh, but Hugh Laurie's in the cast.
Oh, so it's like a British thing.
Yeah. And then TV shows as well. She was on, last thing she was on was Saturday Night Live, appearing as herself in the episode Kit Harington hosted. And then she's in Secret Invasion.
She got to fuck both of them.
Yeah, her nephew.
No, but I mean, like, just as people, Kit Harington and Jason Momoa.
Yeah, Kit Harington's like a hot twink,
Yeah.
where Jason Momoa is like a bear.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I saw this thing on TikTok of this girl going like, she's like, oh, dad bods, perfection. But then she just showed superheroes,
Who
like
don't
the
have
guys who
dad
played
bods.
the guys who played superheroes, but like in their off time. Like, remember that fucking picture of Jason Momoa just like out on the beach, and someone's like, he's looking kind of flabby, and it's like you can still see that he has a 6-pack. He's just relaxed right now. He's probably been eating all day and drinking and being like, a real person.
Yeah. I feel like that's how women feel all the time. When I see
no,
that
absolutely.
shit is how women feel all the fucking time.
Yeah, but it's like if I was like, oh, I love like, if I said like I love curvy women and then just showed fucking like Taylor Swift and Jennifer Lawrence. Also,
People do that shit.
yeah, exactly. They do. Also, there was one where it's like, oh, girls with no makeup are so hot, and they showed like a picture of Rihanna, but like, I'm not saying Rihanna wears makeup all the time because Rihanna without
She
makeup
has a
is also
fucking
gorgeous.
makeup line.
But no, it was that she wasn't wearing lipstick. She didn't have.
Oh.
She had a light amount of foundation on,
So
but
she was
she
wearing
had
light-
winged eyeliner.
Yeah.
And it's like, buddy, do you think their women's eyes look like that all the time? Also showed Taylor Swift with because you know how she normally has like red lipstick. Mm-hmm. It was like more of a softer like beige. So I guess the guy was just like, oh, she's got like lips like that.
So
It's like,
I'll be the first to admit I'm dumb about makeup, but
but I
that's
can tell when a woman has makeup on.
but like I'm dumb about that shit of like what is or isn't. But at the very least, I'm smart enough to shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
And be like, oh yeah, when somebody's like, yeah, I'm not wearing any makeup. Oh sure.
Yeah.
Oh,
like
I'm
back
wearing
in
a lot
high
of makeup. Okay.
Back in high school, honestly,
I'm
I
not
thought
smart enough to be able to tell that shit.
back in high school, I thought like Emma never wore makeup. No, I was just an idiot. Yeah, because makeup isn't just like lips and eyeshadow.
It's nice to go big, for sure.
It's like
I enjoy
it's
that.
like foundation to hide the imperfections in the skin.
Yeah.
And still, every woman does like eyeliner. Mm-hmm. It's always something small.
Yeah. But
And anyways, I hope that we never have to do that shit.
Yeah. I don't.
We
mind
should
makeup.
cancel.
I would get into. I don't know.
We should cancel makeup on men because James Charles keeps being a criminal.
Yeah, but there's other men who wear makeup who are cool.
Like Jeffree Star.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know about him.
Isn't
I think he
worse?
also did horrible things.
Isn't he the worst one?
No, I think James Charles is the worst one now.
Really?
Because James Charles, like, you know how James Charles is like, oh, he's being canceled. And it's like, no, he was sexting and eliciting nudes from minors. He's not being canceled. He's being charged with criminal offenses.
Okay, that's bad. I didn't know that's what.
This is the
James
most recent
Charles
one. And like, or like David Dobrik and shit like that. Well, he's not a makeup guy, but
Yeah.
I mean like YouTubers who keep doing
Yeah.
bad. They like do criminal acts and then their way of being like, oh, I need to get ahead of this. I know, I won't hire a lawyer or anything. I'll just hop on YouTube and fucking alligator tears in front of people and go like, I'm so sorry. I didn't know I was abusing my friends. And it's like, you made jokes about... Pro Jared. That dude is surprising that he still has a career.
Yeah, dude.
But, you know, like just... Or what was it? I just cancel culture is in my brain right now.
Yeah.
Last night I was on TikTok while I was on the toilet, like in between Apex sessions.
Yeah.
And I saw this girl going like, I saw the her like reply, where it was a John Mulaney has a bit about people used to think he was a an Asian boy, an Asian child because he has like he's got like those eyes that look like they're always closed and he looks like he's always smiling.
Yeah.
But so people used to call him. The original bit when he first did it on stage, he used racial slurs.
Yeah.
He says the G one and the CH one.
Yeah.
And but the joke is that he is not Asian.
But he got called that.
He got called Asian slurs. He's just using the words.
Yeah.
But this chick, she's probably like 18 or whatever, just going like, oh my, like I can't believe he even said them. And I'm like, those words aren't the N word. You can just say them.
Yeah.
It's not like.
And on top of that, again, and I think this is a thing that
unless I am
people...
calling you that word,
yeah,
it's not offensive. This is a conversation about race with two white guys.
Yes. But the thing I think a lot of people that are like just a few years younger than us don't realize
is that these people aren't perfect.
Well, no, it's not that. I'm not talking about like, hey, people younger than us, you're dumb for having these expectations of these people. I'm saying people younger than us. You do not realize how recently it was totally chill for most people to just say shit.
Or also,
like,
if you go back to like older YouTubers right now,
yeah, dude,
like older YouTubers who are white dudes, you will find a video of them saying.
You could go back 2 years and find most YouTubers that are men saying the R slur.
If you look at like say, I don't know, you're a Game Grumps fan.
The fucking F slur was all the fucking time. Like up until like 2015.
If you were like
that people said all the fucking time.
Like a modern Game Grumps fan, you would have a hard time going back to the old ones. Because Danny would say some shit. I mean,
obviously John.
Also, no, but even like in the early days of Danny would say shit as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah,
like,
and then again, you have to be able to make. And again, like with any type of old stuff, you have to be able to make arguments for it. So, like, Wet Hot American Summer,
amazing,
fantastic movie.
Yeah,
one of the running jokes in that movie
is that Michael Ian Black and John Hamm are super gay.
No, it's not John Hamm. It's Bradley Cooper.
It is Bradley Cooper. You're right.
But no,
John Hamm's in the fucking remake.
Yeah.
Or in the prequel sequel.
The joke that they do is they're like, I forget the character's name, but Michael Ian Black's a F slur. He's a F slur. And so then they go over and over and say it again and again. And then, like, the bit is that they're actually supportive. And then they, like, get him a thing. And it's, like, super sweet. And they love him. And it's, like, super wholesome. But again, they're still
saying
all
it
saying
horribly.
it.
Yeah,
They're still saying it, and the joke is that you expect them to be anti, and they're
you
pro.
expect them to go beat the shit out of like their friend because they found out that he's an F slur.
Yeah,
and then
instead they buy him gifts from his wedding registry.
Yeah, because he's getting married. He's getting gay married to Bradley Cooper, who is also who is a closeted gay man.
Yeah.
The funniest thing they did in the sequel
prequel?
No, it's in the sequel.
Oh.
Because
where he's Adam Scott.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just so funny.
Yeah. Oh, I had some work done.
They're like, do you think they'll notice? And I completely forgot that was supposed to be Bradley Cooper. I knew Adam Scott wasn't in there. I just thought maybe they divorced.
He's a new person.
Yeah.
Do you think they'll notice? And they're like, oh, did you get some work done? He's
but
like, I got my nose job.
He got a nose job, and it took a foot off of him and removed all of his muscle mass.
See, my favorite joke was from the prequel where they actually got Bradley Cooper, but they only had him for a few days. So he's like, dude, are you going to come to the party at the end of the first week? DJ Ski Mask's going to be there. I'm DJ Ski Mask.
But then the funny thing would be to have a guy, I'm sure they probably thought about doing this, was just have it like DJ Ski Mask be like a black dude.
No, they just had it was a guy in a ski mask wearing Bradley Cooper's outfit. It was clearly like a double. It's cool that they managed to get him back for that one though.
Yeah.
They got Chris Pine.
Oh god, this show is just so funny.
Okay,
no, all the
sequel
jokes,
one wasn't as good, but
all
the
the
prequel
jokes
one I really
in
loved.
Their concept, hilarious.
Yeah.
Watching the execution, not good.
The
movie is great.
Yeah.
The prequel series, not great.
Really? I like the prequel
I don't know.
better than the sequel.
I like the one joke about how they had that like really horny camper.
Yeah.
Or like it was the girl, it was like the fucking like camp slut, but she was like, you thought she was the same age as the other, like the
because she's played by a 30-year-old, but she's supposed to be like 18.
Yeah, but turns out she's actually not even 18. She's 13.
Yeah,
because they had her like play as a character in her outfit as like a child, and then she goes into the bathroom, has her period allegedly, and comes out as the original actress. That is so funny.
That's so fucking funny.
Yeah. But then also,
and again, she's like 40 something.
The joke is that they're all like 40 and 50, but they're
playing younger versions of the same characters they played 20 years ago.
Man, what a good time.
Wet Hot American Summer is like all-time great level, man.
Yeah.
Like the bit where fucking Paul Rudd has to pick the shit up off the floor.
Yeah, after he makes like a big show of it. Oh, what was it? I saw this person like breaking down Endgame.
Yeah.
Or it's like everyone else visibly gets older. Does Paul Rudd did he actually spend 5 years in the quantum universe, or was it like one of those things where he was in and then he was out? But then, and like 5 years had passed. But then when his mother-in-law, I can't remember her name, I'm not going to remember it, she comes out and she has aged. And it's like, it's going through all these reasoning that maybe
because he fell into a time portal.
He was in a different he was on a different like plane or whatever. Yeah, he did fall into a time portal actually, because that's the MacGuffin of the movie. Is that's how they discover time travel. But also the guy was just like, but also you need to consider that Paul Rudd has looked the same for the last 20 fucking years. Because he posted like a picture of him in like Wet Hot American Summer, which came out in 2001. Yeah. To like now, and he looks the same. He just has a little bit of gray up here, because I guess he's letting it come in now. He's like, I'm an old man. It's fine. I'm 50. And he looks the same as when he was 20, just with like the little crow's feet now. Yeah.
We stand Paul Rudd.
We used to listen to this old podcast that doesn't exist anymore. And they did an entire episode. They used to do like in between episodes where it's like, this would be an episode, and they're like, well, it's not good enough. And we only talked about one thing for 45 minutes. Yeah. Let's just release it on the side. And it was them talking shit about Paul Rudd for 45 fucking minutes. And it's because he's like, whatever, Paul Rudd's just a normal man. This was pre Ant-Man. Yeah. I think it was when Ant-Man was coming around.
So it was like
it was announced. So he's like, I don't fucking care about him being Ant-Man. That movie's gonna suck. Which is like what everyone said when Ant-Man was coming out. And then we all saw it and we're like, you know what? I think because we thought it was going to be bad, it turned out to be okay. Yeah. Yeah.
I see. I was hyped for the Edgar Wright version, but that didn't happen.
Yeah.
But let's get right into the news, folks. So
speaking of scripts that aren't going to happen anymore,
sad day. The script for the new live-action Powerpuff Girls on the CW leaked, and it's pretty bad. Although I will say there is one joke that I really liked in that script that made me laugh actively.
Well, I need to hear it.
Okay, so they're talking about like how they wanted to be their own people or whatever.
Yeah.
And Bubbles is like, yeah, like in Dirty Dancing, right? The main character, she wanted to be a fancy slut, and like that made me laugh. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's something like that. I'm butchering it.
It's just like so much like, hey, what if it was the Powerpuff Girls, but Professor Utonium, who was like the pinnacle of a loving single father, was actually a drunk alcoholic.
Well, it's not. It's like he was like a stage mom type.
He was like a stage mom, but then he also like created the Powerpuff Girls TV show in that universe as like propaganda, but for the Powerpuff Girls.
Yeah,
and like they also you can't find the original tweet anymore.
I think it's because it got by the way, the tweet did get DMCA'd, which probably makes it a legit.
Yeah, it legitimizes it to such an extent.
Yeah,
and then also they announced that they were reshooting the pilot.
Well, they announced that already before.
Okay,
but then I think they're not making the show anymore.
Are you sure?
I think so.
So
is what was announced, or maybe they're redoing it.
But this is the first thing I saw. I think this is the first picture from the original tweet. It's Bubbles. Blossom's fine. I saw her on Insta that she has a boyfriend. I saw on her LinkedIn that she got promoted, and I saw on Facebook that she still talks to Grandpa, despite their political differences. Buttercup coming back here is probably triggering for her. Bubbles, why? Because she's the one who killed Mojo. I mean, MoveOn.org. Which, back in the day, when I used to listen to Comedy Bang Bang in like 2013, that was a character's catchphrase as well. And the joke is that it was dated then. That it was a dumb thing to say.
Yeah.
It's just like so filled with like dumb, edgy, like, look, they have sex now bullshit.
Yeah.
Like,
again, I just think the fancy slut joke is funny.
Yeah, but that's fine because but like it's constant. It's like this one they're talking about like being bi-curious and having hate boners, and they're just talking about boners a bunch. And then in the next this other screenshot, it's Bloss, wake up or we'll leak your nudes everywhere. Off Bubbles confusion. That worked on you once. It's like, why are you leaking nudes of your sister, you fucking psychopath?
I think it was a threat to make her wake up.
Yeah, but it's still like stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Who did that?
Yeah, it's dumb. I don't know. I think it's like trying uncomfortably to be modern.
Yeah, I think what we really need though is that like the football monologue.
I feel
from
like
Riverdale.
This could be a fine. Yeah, I feel like this could be a fine show if it wasn't Powerpuff Girls and was instead like a generic like take on that type of show. I think that would work better.
Yeah,
right?
no,
like,
I think if you wanted to do something about like a teen, like
it's
inspired
like
by the
Powerpuff Girls.
Powerpuff
Wouldn't want to do
Girls.
Watchmen for the actual Justice League, but Watchmen for like Watchmen's characters.
Yeah,
is
because
genius.
Watchmen is a take on like what if these people all sucked.
Yeah, right.
Like what if they weren't the pinnacles of humanity and there was actually flaws? You know what comic book writers try to do all the time. But Alan Moore was just like, I'm going to write an entire series about this.
Yeah.
Where they could do something not called the Powerpuff Girls.
Yeah.
They could call it like Girl Power Hour or some fucking bullshit.
Or Magical Girls. Or
Maha
whatever.
Shoujo, but in English. Yeah. And it's just like they grow up and they're jaded and they're like, we were really just kind of beating up people and didn't really fix anything because the things kept happening. And then, you know, it could just
then
be
again,
like
if you did use the actual Powerpuff Girls and then fully Watchmen it and you leaned in and didn't make it funny, that would be also cool. I would be into that, just like going super artsy with it. That'd be so fucking cool.
No, CW won't do that. Actually, I know. CW tries to do that because like Riverdale's kind of supposed to feel like.
No, it's not.
Is it? Is Riverdale supposed to feel satirical?
I think it is.
Because have you ever seen the football monologue?
I have seen. Of course, I've seen the football.
It's so
funny. I watched
funny.
the first season of Riverdale.
Wow. it's so sad that you have never experienced the highs and
Because he was
lows
in
that
prison
you can
or
get
something.
in college, in high school football or something. Yeah,
Yeah.
Because he has this long monologue
Like,
about
it's
how
like-
he had to run drugs for his family and he got arrested when he was 7. He's been in prison for like the last 9 years or something, and then
You know what that means? You never experienced the epic highs and lows.
which fucking Sprouse brother is it? Cole or Dylan that's on that show?
Cole, I think.
Because I think he was the one who
He's
said
Jughead.
it.
No, it's Archie who says it.
Oh, okay.
Jughead doesn't play football.
Okay, so he's Jughead.
sad.
I
He's
don't
emo.
know about the show, so I didn't watch it.
It's dumb because they could have just when they announced this, I was like, oh, I wonder if it's based on like the high school drama comedy Mark Waid run on Archie,
Yeah.
and no, turns out it's not. And I'm like, oh, that's better because what you're trying to do is like a weird Twin Peaks thing that's not as interesting.
Yeah. I had when we watched Twin Peaks in the call. I forgot to bring this up last week.
I think you brought it up, but you didn't go anywhere with it.
Oh, we
You
did.
were
It was just because like
fine.
me and Blake just like passively watched like an episode and a half.
Yeah.
Because we came in between and like at the beginning and like, wow, this show is so silly and so stupid, but also depressing and like interesting. But there, the killer.
Yeah.
Don't say anything because I'll probably actually watch it because I was interested.
Crazy Bob.
He's balding, but he has like the long gray hair.
Yep.
I'm like, I had to ask. They don't know who the killer is. Like that's the point of the show.
Mm-hmm.
Even I'm like the woman who like passively sees him off to the side and goes, ah, because that's the man who killed her daughter, but she doesn't know what he looks like.
So she saw this thing. It's a thing that you're definitely going to see further into the season, but essentially, Bob, which is who that guy is like a metaphysical entity.
See, that's what I wanted to fucking ask, but
It's
Gavin
magic.
would not answer me.
Yeah.
I was like, is that the actual killer? Like, is that the actor who turns out to be the killer? Or is that everyone's perception of what they think the killer looks like?
No,
and they were like,
it's neither
I'm not
of those
answering that.
things.
Okay.
It's neither of those things. It is like, he's honestly just like, he's the devil is what I'm going to give you. Like,
Okay.
think of it like that. Like, where it's like, that's not exactly it. I want you to still be interested by the shit that you get, but like, yeah.
My sister just called me. I'm just texting her back.
Okay.
I'm busy. What the fuck do you want?
I love Twin Peaks.
Politely. Yeah.
I think it sucks because like Dale Cooper's monologue coming in, it's like, oh, you got to take a look at these trees. I love that, but then when you play Deadly Premonition is almost like a over the top parody of
It
Twin
feels
Peaks.
exactly the same.
It's very similar.
Yeah.
But it's so much funnier because Francis York Morgan comes into town. He's on the phone with somebody describing how Tom and Jerry are in a BDSM gay relationship with each other while smoking a cigarette and typing on his laptop in the passenger seat while driving.
Wait, 1 second.
And gets into a car accident.
Is this Deadly Premonition?
Deadly Premonition.
Okay, I thought for a second, I'm like, is this Kyle MacLachlan?
No. It's so funny. And he gets into a car crash.
Oh my god.
Because he's doing all this shit at the same time. It's such a good introduction to the main character of Deadly
Yeah.
Premonition because you're just like...
Yeah, so
And the squirrels make monkey noises.
that's it for that piece of news.
Yeah. And in other news, Virtua Fighter 5 is getting a remake on the Dragon engine and is going to be free on PS Plus when it releases in June. It's going to be PlayStation exclusive, but it's free on PS Plus. So I think that, like, you know.
Well, it's going to be PlayStation exclusive because, well, it doesn't... Actually, that's surprising that it would be PlayStation exclusive because it's a Sega game.
Mm-hmm.
And Sega has their deal with Microsoft now.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think maybe Sony paid some money for this.
Or maybe Virtua Fighter used to be the home, like, used to be a Sony exclusive console, so they were like...
Well, I mean, it used to be on Sega's consoles.
Well, yes, but...
I don't think it was ever Sony exclusive.
I'm just looking
I
up.
could be wrong. But it looks great. I'll play it. I mean, it's gonna be fucking free.
I don't know. I'll probably...
There's an
also
option.
because it's free.
There's an option to play it in Virtua Fighter 1 graphics,
Ooh.
which I think is cute.
I just think...
It probably should. I wish it wasn't a remake.
The way, yeah, but they are definitely like putting feelers out right now.
Yeah, I bet that's what it is. Where it's like, oh well, people play Virtua Fighter 5 in Yakuza a lot.
Well, it's because when Yakuza 6 came out on PC, people immediately went in and made a mod where instead of having to load up Yakuza, it would load straight into Virtua Fighter.
Yeah.
So I feel that's where that came from.
So yeah,
but then also if this game does well or gets like a player base, they'll definitely make 6,
which would be nice because it's been like 10 years.
Did you see the thing about the online though?
We've invented a new thing.
Yeah, Giga rollback netcode. Yeah, that's not going to be true at all because Japanese game devs literally like. Did you ever watch one of the fighting game roundtables?
Yeah, they hate rollback.
They actually had like a thing in there where it's like, don't talk about rollback. We don't want to hear about it. And as soon as Arxis Man started talking, he brought up rollback.
No, I thought it was Tekken Man.
Harada? No, I think the last one that happened. That's where it happened. And then Harada said that because of how, or apparently Tekken already has rollback, it's just very bad. And the way Tekken works is it's too technical. Because Tekken is the most beautiful one of the, like, realistically beautiful fighting game.
Yeah. It
has, like, proper 3D graphics. The characters look more human than, like, cartoons. Where in Street Fighter, they're all stylized. King of Fighters, they just look like shit. King of Fighters definitely has the worst graphics. Like,
see, I haven't played KOF 15, whatever.
Because it's not out yet. But like when you look at the trailers, it like doesn't it doesn't even look better than Street Fighter 5.
Yeah. Again, they shouldn't have. They up until 12. 12 was the last one they had sprites. Still.
No, 13.
13. Fuck.
13,
okay.
But making those sprites because they're fully 3D characters and sprite work, and the amount of work it put in almost bankrupted all of SNK.
Yeah, but that game's gorgeous.
Yeah,
we played a bit of it together, and
yeah.
I mean that's some of the best animations I've ever seen. Like,
yeah,
oh, gorge. And of course, like Arxis,
you can't. Don't even bring them up.
They do fucking compete. Magic. Yeah.
Well, it's like they come up with techniques to be able to do it at like well into the game and like do smear frames and have like extended body parts and stuff. Like they animate with smear frames in mind. They have like a character throws a punch, their arm gets longer during the animation for the punch because of to show speed and whatever.
Yeah,
like fuck, Arxis needs to make a one-piece fighting game. Like because
Arxis needs to make everything. Arxis needs to make a fucking JoJo one.
Yeah. All right. Anyways, back to the news. Oh, so then the kid, I don't think this picked up on the mic actually, but then the kid was like, oh, I've tried beer. It's all right. And I'm like, it's an acquired taste, but also drink vodka sodas.
Yeah.
It's like pretty much the same. Like, it's just a fucking, I think that's what got me into carbonated waters, to be honest.
Yeah.
Is because like vodka soda is just
good.
Well, it's carbonated water.
Yeah.
It's club soda, vodka, and like a splash of lime juice.
Which is
just a fucking bubbly.
Yeah.
Except this is more expensive than that fucking like 500 milliliter bottle of like lime juice I can buy anywhere.
Yeah.
And a 99-cent 2-liter of fucking club soda.
But it tastes better.
It's alcohol. It's gonna taste bad regardless.
Oh, I just meant like the bubbly on its own tastes better.
Oh yeah, no, but if I'm gonna, I'm not gonna.
You're not gonna make your own fucking seltzer.
Yeah. Yeah, but I'll just drink. Like for if I want to just have, like if I want to have this, like a just lime bubbly or whatever.
Yeah.
I'll go get a lime bubbly.
Yeah.
But there is no fucking way I'd ever be like, I got carbonated water, and I got
lime juice.
Lime juice.
I'll make my own bubbly.
Not doing that. It tastes bad.
Yeah. And
there's something about the lime juice that just has this like horrible aftertaste. It like fucks up my throat. That's why it's the only thing that makes me want to stop drinking them. Because when vodka hangovers are brutal.
Well, then what you should do is simply switch to Claws.
It does the same thing to me.
Really?
Yeah.
Then don't get the lime claw.
Claws, Cottage Springs.
Get the cherry claw. I like White Claw, man. That shit's good.
It's just you just don't support Canadian businesses.
Why? What's?
Cottage Springs is made in Ontario.
Oh, I don't think those were a thing you could buy when I was drinking Claws.
No, you could. They were there.
Oh.
They came out. They came out like a couple months before, because
Do they have as cool of a label?
No.
Do they sound as cool to say?
Cottage Springs versus White Claw? No.
Yeah. There you go.
Yo, brother, pass me some of that Cottage Springs. Oh no, I've turned into a 40-year-old white man.
Hit me
Hey,
with the
welcome to
claw,
my cottage
bitch.
here, which is just a house that I bought up north because I can't stand to be away from the internet. I'm from Toronto and I'm ruining the housing market.
Well, I don't know. I'm that kind of bitch. I don't want to. I'm not gonna go to a cottage with no fucking internet.
No, even my fucking uncle's cottage had like internet, but like, or no, I don't think he did because he just never bothered. I just think that if you go up to a cottage and you do the exact same things you do at home while you're at the cottage, there's no point of you having a cottage. Not saying you have to go not saying you have to go fishing or hiking or anything, but like get drunk, sit outside, and look at nature. That's all you gotta do.
And that's why I don't have a cottage, because I don't care to do most of that shit.
Yeah, also because your mom's like, I don't care for it either.
Well, my mom likes cottages, but we like, if we want to go to one, we'll like rent one type deal.
It's a lot of work. My family...
Yeah, do you want to look after a whole other house? No.
Yeah, my family was kind of talking about doing something in the future. Because we've always had a cottage in the family.
Yeah.
In some way. Never that my parents have owned, but like my aunt had the cottage for like 10 years.
Yeah.
And before that, they had a trailer. They sold the cottage and then moved up to a house that's pretty much a cottage. Because my uncle had a heart attack.
Yeah.
Or, yeah, he had a heart attack and then he had to have surgery to fix one of the valves on his heart. So they were like, we can't sell this house in Ajax area. Whitby.
Okay.
That might have just been picked up anyways.
Yeah, I mean, it almost certainly
It also doesn't matter. It's a huge place.
Yeah.
They were like, well, we don't want to live here anymore. Let's just move up. They were going to sell that house and live at the cottage year round because it was winter-proofed and all that. It was reasonable.
Yeah.
But then he had a heart attack and they're like, oh, he would die there. He would die on the fucking, on the carpet. Because how do you the ambulances can't go down those roads.
No.
You have to get airlifted. And there was no spot to actually airlift him on the property.
Yikes.
They would have to, you'd have to go to the neighbors, like drag my like 200-pound uncle like over like this like ditch.
They could do the thing where they lower the bed on the fucking...
Oh, you're right. They could do
rope.
that. But then she would also still have to get him onto the bed.
Have you ever seen that video of the old lady?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, that's so bad. Like, I feel terrible, but on the other hand,
so
it's
funny.
so funny.
All right, so anyways, let's get off the topic of how everyone in my family is old and dying.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, I saw a funny tweet Jeremy Kaplowitz from the Hard Times wrote, and I thought you would want to hear it.
Yeah, hit me.
People think Captain America the First Avenger is just a movie, but after Disney made it, they were like, but what if we actually did that to Kumail?
I saw some stuff for the Eternals recently.
It looks cool!
I don't think so.
No, it looks great.
I think I'm going to go into it with the mindset that it's going to suck. I'm going to Ant-Man this one.
Oh. No, I think it looks great. I mean, Chloe Zhao, they're filming on location. Did you see that?
I understand the filming on location thing, and I thought it was really funny, the Kevin Feige quote, where he's like, I can't believe these places actually exist.
Yeah.
But it just, they kind of, whenever I see like promotional images, it just looks like people in costumes standing around in like normal locations. But that also could just be them showing the least interesting locations so they don't fucking spoil parts of the movie.
Yeah, because I think elements of this movie are going to take place during other movies.
Maybe.
There's a rumor that we're going to see young Thanos, which, I mean, probably almost certainly, because he is technically an Eternal.
Yeah, so we'll see. I just want to see hot Kumail the whole time.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, I just want to see what Emily Gordon's been getting.
That
clip from that, what's that fucking movie Kumail did?
The Big Sick?
Yeah, The Big Sick, about the real life story of his life.
Yeah.
That fucking scene when he's like, can I get a cheeseburger with 5 slices of cheese? And the guy's like, 5 cheeseburgers. He's like, no, 1 cheeseburger, 5 slices. I don't have a button. We don't have a button for that. He's like, what the fuck is this we, man? It's me and you. It's so funny.
It's funny.
Yeah.
Did you watch the Thursday Horizon Zero Dawn?
No, because it was all gameplay, and I don't care. I'm already gonna get the game.
Yeah. Okay. Me for the opposite reason.
That you watched it because you weren't gonna get it.
No, I didn't watch it because I was sure I wasn't gonna get it because I didn't enjoy the first one.
I saw screens. The game looks very pretty.
I'm sure it does.
I saw a good joke from Brian Altano where he put like those like real estate bubbles on like random pieces of shit and just made like rent $11,000 because the game takes place in San Francisco.
That's funny.
I think the game, it looked like from the very beginning, I'm like, this looks cool, this looks interesting, I'm gonna play it. They fixed the combat to make it worthwhile to actually have like the combat against humans is not just, hey, use your bow.
Yeah, one thing I didn't like about the original is just how like kind of heavy it is. Like you don't really have much melee attacks at all, and most of what you're going to be doing is stealthing and shooting, and I didn't really enjoy it that much.
Yeah, this looks more dynamic.
That's interesting.
I saw that there's like a fucking, you can do like an electric pulse, like supernova sort of ability. It looks like Aloy has like proper move, like. It looks like she will have two different modes of playing, where it's like bow and thing. Like I think I saw at one point she like jumped in the air and dodged and like did a slow-mo cam to shoot the ground.
Is there an air dash in this fucking
There's
game?
No air dash. That can't happen. It's just because they are just humans still.
Air dashes in every game.
Then you would like Mass Effect Andromeda.
You can air dash in Mass Effect?
That Mass Effect Andromeda is the first Mass Effect game to have a jump button, and then there is a jetpack which you can use to dash forward in the air. Yeah, I didn't care to watch it because it's just all gameplay, but this is an exciting trend because we've been getting a lot of gameplay stuff this week and a lot of like short announcements. Yeah, you know what? Tell this one, and then I'll tell my whole thesis about this.
Dying Light 2. It's not on the list, but I thought it looked sick.
Okay, I actually did not even see it got announced.
Okay. Well, Dying Light 2, if you remember E3 2019 and slightly before that and somewhat slightly since, they were like, this is a new game, it's a new location.
Wait, I thought Dying Light 2 was already out.
No. Their story, it's like, the story has like choices and different factions that you can align with or disalign with. Like, it's almost like a Fallout game, but there's more parkour, bigger thing, blah, blah, blah. Looked super cool when they first announced it. Story by Chris Avallone, who later had to leave the project, I think, because he got Me Too'd. I'm not sure. I don't 100% remember. But like we've heard nothing since it was like had a really what was it called? Like they last year when COVID happened, they just had like indefinite delay, right?
Yeah.
And then here is like the first piece of footage we've seen. I think the game still looks pretty cool, but I'm cautiously optimistic because again, like we didn't see it for a long time. So like I'm worried, but it is coming out in December.
Not seeing things for a long time is also sometimes a good thing because when you're too into like a game's development and if you see things not changing in the way you want or changing in a way you dislike, then you're gonna know.
And it does look like it is the same game as the last trailer, and they like legitimately pointed out how like certain things that were in the last trailer.
Well, Techland's already had a giant mistake, so I think they'll try their best to.
What was their giant mistake?
Actually, you know what? They did not make Dead Island Riptide. They just made Dead Island 1.
Yeah, Dead Island 2, don't even ask.
Yeah, Dead Island 1 is fine. It's just not good.
No, but Dead Island 2
is bad.
Isn't out yet.
What was the other Dead Island game that came out?
Riptide.
I thought that was just Dead Island 2.
No, so they announced Dead Island 2, which is by a different company, and then it changed developers, I think, twice. It was announced for the PS4 around PS4's launch.
The latest release for Dead Island was called Escape Dead Island.
Yeah, that was like a fucking...
It looks completely different.
No, look at Dead Island 2.
I can't even see it anymore. I think it might have been canceled.
No, it's...
Dead Island Riptide. Dead Island Epidemic canceled. Dead Island Definitive Edition. Dead Island 2. Okay.
Like Dead Island 2... developed by Dan Buster Studios, It's the sequel to the 2011 game Dead Island, and the next major installment. It's coming for PS4. The game has had a difficult development period, with development duties originally handled by Jaeger Development until Sumo Digital took over in 2016, and then Dam Buster Studios in 2019.
This game does not exist.
Like, dude, it's so wild. Like, yeah, Techland was originally supposed to do it, but then they did Dying Light, which is a much better game. And then Jaeger Development tried to do it, and they pitched the game in Q3 2012 and got the deal to do it. Jaeger did. It was announced at Sony's E3 2014.
Man, Deep Silver kind of sucks.
Oh yeah, Deep Silver is trash.
Yeah. Sucks that they have Saints Row.
Yeah.
Just make a new fucking Saints Row game.
It's too bad that THQ Nordic is also kind of trash.
Oh, that's just they have a shitty social media guy who they won't fire.
Yeah, well, I think like that's like an existent thing. I'm just saying, don't do an AMA on 8chan ever. That's a dumb fucking thing to do.
Yeah.
You want us to talk about the Sonic thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
It looked cool.
There was a Sonic event. They're doing a remaster for Sonic Colors is the big one, and there's a new 3D Sonic coming out 2022.
You forgot the most important part.
What?
Roger Craig Smith is Sonic again.
Oh, yeah, he is. After we announced that he wasn't.
After, like, it was like a year where it's like Roger Craig Smith is no longer Sonic, and it's like, no, fuck you, Roger Craig Smith is still Sonic. Because why would you recast Roger Craig Smith, who is almost, at this point, the longest-running Sonic voice actor?
I believe he is.
Yeah, actually, he definitely is. But still, like, yeah, Tails is the same, though.
Yeah.
They have never, like, I think Tails has had no, you know what?
No, Tails they changed the most
Sonic
because
Boom,
they kept hiring real children for a while.
Sonic Boom was, like, the big recasting
Yeah.
of everyone. Or, well, like, Roger Craig Smith really came into his own with that version of Sonic. So I think he in Sonic 06?
I think it's been him, like, the whole time.
He was not in Sonic Adventure 2.
Oh.
And the previous one. It's also really fucking funny to hear Roger Craig, because like I think of his voice as Sonic and as Mirage in Apex Legends.
Yeah.
But then when you go play like Resident Evil 5 and 6 and he's Chris Redfield, like imagine Sonic voice going like, "Suck on this, Wesker."
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also interesting to us, Sonic the Fighters, the Sonic fighting game, is going to be fully playable arcade game in Lost Judgment.
Yeah. Was that a game that existed already?
Of course it is.
I did not know it existed. He has been the voice actor for Sonic since 2010.
Oh. So since...
I'm just going to look right here. I hate it when Wikipedia is like, breaks the shit down so stupidly.
So what would he have been Sonic the first time in? Like...
Oh, fuck.
Unleashed?
Sonic in the Black Knight?
Sonic in the Black Knight. Anyway, yeah, if you didn't know what Sonic Colors, the one that's getting a remaster, is, that one was stuck on Wii, but was one of the better ones.
I think, okay, he was announced as Sonic. Oh, no, fuck. Wikipedia.
He's at least been Sonic since Generations.
You know what was the craziest thing to me, actually?
What?
When I was first looking up Roger Craig Smith, he plays Ezio in Assassin's Creed.
Dude, you didn't know that?
I just, at the time, I've known for a while now.
Okay.
But at the time, I was like, fucking what?
Ezio Auditore.
It literally will not tell me the first one. It just says Sonic the Hedgehog series.
Great.
So now I just got to go in here because I need to get this information.
What game came out in 2010?
Yeah. Jesus Christ. Sonic the Hedgehog 2010. You know, Wikipedia is good for a lot of things. Sometimes but not what I'm doing right now.
Yep. Okay, let's move on.
Sonic the Hedgehog 4 came out, but I don't think that game has fucking...
Sonic 4 Episode 1 and 2. Yeah, they suck.
Does it even have voice acting in that?
I think it might.
That would be the first one then.
Okay. But in a much more interesting thing, here's some cool stuff. The Dragon Quest shit. First, what was announced was an Octopath style 2D HD remake of Dragon Quest 3 was announced. That's fucking sick. That's a super cool thing to do.
It was Sonic at the Olympic Winter Games.
Oh, nice. Okay. So, Dragon Quest 3 full HD remake. That's fucking sick.
Oh, also Sonic Colors came out in 2010.
Oh, okay. That would probably be it as well.
That would actually would be most likely the first one.
Yeah.
Because why would you recast him for
Yeah.
the bad games and racing?
No,
Sonic and Sega All Stars Racing came out in 2010 as well.
But the real good one is Sonic and Sega All Star. Sega and Sonic All Star. Fuck. Sonic and Sega All Stars Racing Transformed is the best kart racer.
I won't disagree.
It's
Mario
so
Kart's getting played out now.
Yeah.
Nintendo's just being played out because everything they put out looks like shit now.
Yeah.
Not Breath of the Wild. Not Mario Odyssey. But Mario Kart 8 on the Switch is just a remaster.
Yeah.
And then like all Pokemon stuff is just disappointing.
Well, no, that new stuff looks pretty good.
Pokemon Snap or Legends Arceus?
Both.
We forgot to put that in the news as well.
What? They just have a release date.
That's news.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, alright, anyways. Dragon Quest 12.
And Dragon Quest 12, Dragon Quest for adults. It's gonna have action combat.
Dragon Quest for adults. Does that mean Like a Dragon will have action combat again?
No.
Obviously not.
Yeah.
But that's...
Dragon Quest 12 is going to be a more mature Dragon Quest. It's less childlike compared to like all the other ones.
Still want it to be childish.
Yeah.
Like I still want to walk up to a woman and she will like, puff puff.
That's adult.
It's always been an adult thing. It's just, well, now puff puff will actually be sandwiching your heads between two titties and not two slimes.
Yeah. That was the reveal, I think, in the PS2 one, right?
Yeah, it's been the canon thing for a while.
But yeah, so
there's also in Dragon Quest 11 you can get a manly puff puff. There's like this giant rip dude that's just like, "Hello, would you like a puff puff from me?" You get something for it like permanently gives you stat buffs, but it does not tell you that.
Oh.
So receiving puff puffs in Dragon Quest is actually very good.
Mm-hmm.
And ignoring them can like underpower your character.
But yeah, Dragon Quest 12, it's exciting. It's going to have a worldwide release, which is like a first for the series.
Yeah. That's very cool. Mm-hmm. Did they even show anything, or did they just show the logo?
It's like a logo. It was like, it's cool.
Yeah, it did look dark and stuff, but...
Yeah. It makes sense.
No.
They've never done that for Dragon Quest before.
Is Toriyama still going to do the character designs, or is it going to look like Final Fantasy now?
No, it's almost certainly going to still be Toriyama.
But there's a thing with Toriyama's designs is everything is very soft. Yeah. If you look at like any of Toriyama's art, there's not a lot of hard angles except for in hair, like in mostly men's hair. Everything's very soft. Even Goku's muscles are like kind of like soft looking.
I think they'll probably still have Toriyama do it. Otherwise, like, what's even the point?
Well, that's what I'm saying. If Toriyama doesn't do the character design, the game is literally just Final Fantasy.
I wouldn't say so.
Because if they're for adults, Dragon Quest always has like this very childish art style.
Yeah.
But if you're gonna make it look more gritty and serious, it just might not like mesh very well. You know what? We just got to see the game.
Yeah, we haven't seen any of it yet.
Or we could get like a Yakuza situation where maybe fucking Dragon Quest 12, because 11 sold really well.
Yeah.
Maybe 12 will sell so amazingly that they'll be like, all right, we're going to do more of these. And now we'll do the Dragon Quest 3 remake. We'll go off of, we'll do some turn-based stuff.
Well, the Dragon Quest 3 remake is going to come out first.
Yeah.
So.
But like, if that one also sells well, maybe they'll just like do a cross franchise or like, split the franchise.
Yeah.
Where there will be the strategy version of Dragon Quest and there will be the action version.
I don't think so, because Dragon Quest has gone action RPG before with the level 5 one.
Wasn't it bad?
No. I mean, it's
Which
level
one was
5.
that?
I think it's 8.
8?
Yeah.
I never hear about 8. I only hear about like 1 and 7.
I don't know. I don't remember exactly which one it is. But
I literally did not
It's
see
not bad. It's fine.
how like the character design of 11 is like almost exactly the same as the character from 1. They just have different hair.
Yeah.
Like, it's the same color scheme. The outfit looks the same. It's just so...
Yeah. I mean,
but I think
Dragon
that's
Quest.
also the most direct, like, sequel.
Yeah. Well, no, actually, so
well,
interestingly...
in like, the direct in, like, the same timeline. Like, they're all in a timeline, but, like, it felt like 1 has happened. Everyone's aware that 1 has happened.
Yeah, well, so you play as the same main character in 1, 2, and 3, I believe. For Dragon Quest.
I think you play as like the kid of the main character and his like wife in the second one or the third one.
I could be wrong, but like they're very much direct sequels, and I think 11 takes place in the first universe.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
is it takes place in like because there's a flashback at one point where they talk about the original hero, but then they made him look completely different. But that's also because they're looking at a legend. They're not seeing like a magical flashback. They're getting told a story by one of the like godly beings of the universe.
Yeah,
that's what I want in a new Zelda game. I want those little chicken dudes from Twilight Princess back.
Oh, Okos?
I want them to be like, oh, we just live in heaven now. Like, we just stay up there and watch you from above and kind of just, like, enjoy the scene.
Yeah, I love
It was very boring 100 years.
Yeah, I love the Nightmare chickens.
Yeah.
They're great. They should show up in Breath of the Wild, too.
You know what's the craziest thing about them, actually, though?
What?
In Skyward Sword, at the end of the game is that you take down a bunch of the parts of the sky islands, but then you keep a couple up there.
Yeah.
What they are saying is that the chicken people in Twilight Princess are the descendants of the chicken of the people who stayed up in the Skylands.
Yeah.
So that means at some point there was a weird crossbreed of Loftwings and humans.
Yeah.
To get to that point.
Almost certainly.
It's fucking weird.
Yeah, what are you going to do? Fuck nobody?
Well, the other bird people.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Actually, how would you be... You know what? Yeah. How did they end up as flightless birds? That's the weird part.
They're not flightless.
They're pretty flightless.
No,
they're like chickens where they like glide.
Yeah.
Yeah. Peacocks can just fully fucking fly.
Yeah. I mean, you say...
And turkeys.
You say peacock, and nobody bats an eye.
You say poopcock.
I thought it was pisscock.
I think it's cockpea, actually, is the original. But I saw like a poopcock one today.
I think poopcock is also very common.
You know what I think is very cool about this news?
What?
E3's in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
We just got a bunch of game things, like trailers. E3 is not for gameplay. If it is, 5 to 15 minutes max.
Yeah.
And we just got a big Horizon Zero Dawn thing.
Yeah.
Which
I
makes
hope
me,
that means we're getting a lot of new announcements.
Yeah, that's exactly
cool
what I'm
shit.
feeling. Is that Sony is going to just have an hour of straight new presentations.
I don't think Sony's at E3.
Oh, well, they do a state of play around the same time.
They might. I hope they.
That's what they did last year.
Yeah.
Well, actually, because E3 was canceled fully last year.
Yeah.
And IGN did Summer of Gaming or whatever, and everyone just did their own
thing
conference. But they all just pretty much made.
I hope we see some cool stuff.
Nintendo Directs.
Yeah.
And then the PC Gamer Show still sucks because it's never going to be good.
PC Gamer sucks. Yeah.
Yeah. But like Nintendo always.
Persona 4 Gold? No, that was cool.
It was a cool announcement.
Yeah.
Nintendo just kind of like hasn't been at E3 in like 7 years now.
Yeah.
But they always have a big direct around that time. I think they're going to.
Of course, there's going to be a Devolver Digital thing. Probably.
Hopefully, because they went public this year.
Hopefully they do it then.
I think that they're still a powerful enough company.
Yeah.
And that like that's what they're known for. If they don't do a like thing, like a proper like the conference we all want to see, I think we'll be disappointed.
It was so fucking hype when she showed up in the PlayStation one though. Where I was like, she's in there. She's fucking in there.
Yeah. So, but definitely Sony's got to have something big.
Yeah.
Devolver, I think, might have like a real AAA title. Because, Devolver's like the AAA indie publisher.
Triple I.
Triple N. Indie.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they always put out indie games. They don't really have big open world games or like, proper AAA. So I think this year they might do one.
Yeah, I think they're going to stick with the stuff that they're known for.
I think they're gonna still have crazy ass games and like weird stuff like Carrion and all that. But I think they'll also just drop like, oh, by the way, here's an open world crime game. Maybe it's like Saints Row. It won't be Saints Row. I'm saying maybe it's like Saints Row because Devolver likes to do those parody games.
That's true.
Or likes to they don't like to do them because they don't make them, but they like to get the publishing rights. They like to support shit like that.
Yeah, shit that's like goofy.
Yeah, but like, oh man, Nintendo also dropping like the Pokemon stuff as well. Like just saying release dates and be like, cool. Maybe hopefully we won't see any of that. Or maybe we see some Legend of Arceus gameplay that doesn't look like shit.
Yeah, I mean, Legend of Arceus and fucking...
Well, actually, one second.
Again, as I said when the Pokemon Direct came out, Pokemon fans will fucking complain about anything. Like, Pokemon fans have so much food that they can fucking turn it down.
Here's the thing, though. This is the thing with
We're
Pokemon.
all starving out here.
Metroid and F-Zero fans are dead. You can have all these games... But you can have it's like, like a Mario game comes out like once every 5 years or whatever.
Yeah,
and it's like it's like a brilliant, it's like a fucking $500 steak at like a fucking nice restaurant. Nintendo keeps saying like, "Hey, Game Freak, what are you putting out?" And they give you McDonald's, the shittiest fast food.
Yeah,
the fries are limp, the fucking burger is dry, the condiments are just worthless because they
don't bring
like
me my BTS sauce for my fucking BTS meal.
Yeah, like they just McDonald's fucking sucks now so much. Like it's never been great, but Jesus Christ, I'd literally rather eat anywhere else now.
Yeah.
Like if someone's like, "Oh, I'm gonna go to McDonald's. You want anything?" I'm like, "Can we just go to the fucking Wendy's?"
Yeah, it's right there.
Or I'll even I don't like Burger King either, but like I'd rather go for Burger King than
Burger King has chicken fries, I believe.
I'll just get some chicken fries. Yeah. Even fucking nuggets at McDonald's kind of suck.
Yeah, they do. As somebody who recently ate,
I also
nuggets.
had the BTS meal. We'll talk about it in the week.
Okay.
So it's just so like that's the problem with Nintendo. Like Legends of Arceus looks really cool. The concept of it's a Pokemon lore game. It's before all the fucking magical bullshit. The Pokemon balls are carved out of like bamboo, and they have a latch instead of a button. They're like,
and it's like actually open world.
Yeah, it's open world, and like your Pokemon attack in like an ATB style of fight. Your character exists, and when your Pokemon faints, you start getting attacked by the Pokemon that beat you. Yeah, it's interesting, but then the game is running at 15 frames per second.
That's something they can probably fix, though.
The world looks bad as well.
I thought the world looked fine.
It's just okay. It looks better than fucking Sword and Shields. Like there's no PS2 trees, but like.
I don't know, like it's on the Switch. Like you can't expect too much.
But there's games that are like that run better on the Switch.
Yeah, but also you gotta keep in mind like the amount of time.
Like fucking Monster Hunter.
Yeah,
Monster Hunter Rise is an
compare everybody to fucking Capcom.
Yeah,
they're good.
I can because Nintendo's bigger than Capcom. Nintendo's the most profitable gaming company in like the world. Not anymore, Epic, but like in Japan, they are like one of the most profitable companies.
Yeah, and
they can't fucking throw some extra money or hire better developers at Game Freak.
I don't think it's either. It's like it's Game Freak's problem is its scheduling.
Game Freak's problem is that they're all they know they have the most popular franchise in the world, so that they just they can piss out games and
I'm sure the individual devs are like, I wish this thing ran better, but it needs to be out by this date.
I think there's people there who were just like, I wish I could make this game better, but there's like a bunch of older devs who don't want to make the game better and think it's just fine how it is.
Yeah,
because like there's good Pokemon games. But there hasn't been a good Pokemon game.
Well, at least Shining Diamond and Brilliant Pearl are going to run fine.
Yeah. I like the people going like, why does it fucking look like this? Why is it like it's garbage?
It's trying to recreate the sprite.
Yeah, it is. It's like, they've always been chibi from up top. That's how it's always been.
People fucking want to bitch and moan about everything.
I just want like a dynamic battle scene again. Because like the one for Sword and Shield, it's just like, you got a tiny little thing in the corner. It shows too much of the field around you with nothing interesting going on. Except for when you're in like the gym battles where it's like you have that fucking like really cool like the battle theme in Sword and Shield is great.
Yakuza got it though, man. Like, just do what Persona does and have a different button do a different thing in battle and have like a nice HUD.
It's the best.
Yeah,
it's my only problem with Persona 4 is that it's like it's
got a
or with Dragon
normal.
Quest, it's got a normal ass menu. It's like I want this button shit is fire.
Yeah, it's like
amazing.
Yakuza 7 and fucking Persona 5.
And also
both
like
do it.
you playing Persona 5 when you remember what all the buttons do and you plan out you're like I know what my characters have. You can just fucking blast through fights. It feels fast.
Yeah, you just mash R1.
Yeah. What's R1?
Tell you what the weaknesses are.
Oh, I just remembered them because I have a good memory.
Oh no,
I have a good memory for that shit. You could be like, "Hey, what'd you do last night?" I will not remember. Not because I was hammered, but other reasons.
Bash R1 though, it just does it for you.
Yeah, but at least you've had. But when you're first fighting an enemy, you can kind of look at it. There's context clues like, "Ooh, what are they weak to?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I can figure it out. It's just I'm lazy and I like having the button. The button is faster than me.
And at least in Royal, I think because in original P5, you had to figure out their weaknesses and actually just go through trial and error.
Yeah.
And
same with Royal, but
with Royal,
informants.
But if to get the full information, you had to capture them as a mask.
Yeah.
In Royal, you just have to fight them once and you get all the info.
Yeah.
I think after you have Futaba on your team.
With that being said, I think that's all the news. Was there other news that you wanted to talk about that's not in the list?
No, just a Pokemon thing. I just always want to complain about how Pokemon games look like shit.
Yeah, and I go, that's why I don't care for Pokemon. I don't play any of the Pokemon games.
Yeah,
because they don't look very good.
You know what we could get actually at Nintendo E3?
What?
They have all the they've already shown off Pokemon recently. We know what's coming. There's like Mario. I think it's too soon post Odyssey.
Odyssey came out almost 5 years ago.
Yeah, but like there's usually we could get a new Mario announcement then.
Yeah. We're gonna definitely get a Switch Pro. That kind of leaked.
Yeah, and it better either be called a Switch Pro
or the new Nintendo Switch.
It's got to be called Super Nintendo Switch.
That would be cool.
You can't fuck this up again, Nintendo. This new Nintendo Switch, this new
what
Nintendo
about the
3DS
Nintendo Switch U?
They could have called it the Super Nintendo Wii, like, but at least like the Wii was more of like by itself as a name.
Yeah.
But the Switch is called the Nintendo Switch. Most people will say the Nintendo Switch, like fully.
Yeah.
No one said Nintendo Wii or Nintendo Wii U. So Super Nintendo Switch is absolutely the better name. Calling something the new Super Nintendo Switch is so fucking stupid.
No, yeah. I think Switch Pro would probably be the smartest thing to call it, or like the Switch something else that clearly says it's better.
Yeah. I think just like no one else.
Switch Ultimate.
That's when they're on their 5th iteration of it.
Yeah.
We just wait till the 4th one where it's a Nintendo Switch for the 3DS. I think, but like, Xbox has their...
The Nintendo Switch for Wii U.
Xbox has their stupid, like, putting it like an S at the end to, like, tell you, hey, this is the good one. I fucking can't wait until Xbox Series XS comes out.
Yeah.
But then there's, like, the PlayStation 4 Pro. It will probably be PlayStation 5 Pro.
Yeah.
Which I don't think I'll ever get because I literally don't see a reason to.
I don't have a 4K TV, so why would I even...
Well, I have a 4K TV, but also my PS5 already runs 4K and can, if my TV could handle that many frames, I could
or
fucking
120 FPS.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
So what's the fucking point? Like, there's nowhere to go. But calling it the Switch Pro is dumb. I think Super Nintendo Switch is better.
I just think the problem is that doesn't... Because a lot of people say just the Switch. So what do you
call
call
it? The Super
Switch?
Or SNS.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. We're not Nintendo. I'm sure they're going to do something stupid.
Yeah.
We'll get an announcement. The console's now going to cost like $400 and
I'll
be
probably buy
like
one
not
if it's
worth
really
it.
good.
If it's really good,
I think they're going to do like they did with the new 3DS and have exclusives.
The new 3DS didn't have exclusives. It did at later on towards the end of the life cycle.
You know how like Xenoblade was exclusive for the new 3DS?
Yeah, but that was towards the ending of the 3DS's life cycle. Like, I think by the time they announced that game, Switch like was announced right after.
No, I don't think it was. It was when the new 3DS came out. There were exclusives, and then every SNES game was exclusive to the new 3DS. Not the old one.
There might be, but
so what I think there's going to be exclusives because I think companies are like, the Switch really doesn't compete now that the fucking PS5 is.
Then they absolutely have to call it the Super Nintendo Switch. Because calling it the Switch Pro implies that it's just a better version of the Switch.
I think it's going to be a better version of the Switch, but it will have exclusive games.
Okay.
Like, it's not quite the Switch 2. Maybe they should just fucking call it the Switch 2. But, you know.
Nintendo doesn't do that, though. Whatever. It's all conjecture. I would like it to be called Super Nintendo Switch. You have your opinions.
Yeah.
That are fucking wrong.
The Super Nintendo switched.
No, they don't even. They just call it the Switched.
Yeah.
Or they call it the Snap. So this fucking makes sense now.
The Nintendo Switch Cum Edition.
What if they just announced they were making a Switch, but it's no longer handheld?
The Nintendo Switch Heavy.
The Nintendo Switch undockable, but it still looks like that.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, because the Lite is only portable, so the Nintendo Switch Heavy would only be.
I feel like they wouldn't have to make a whole new Switch.
Yeah.
I feel like they could make, because they already have some shit where when the Switch is in docked mode, it runs better.
Yeah.
So what if instead of selling a brand new Switch, they sold a dock that enhanced the games even further?
The dock doesn't enhance the games. It's that, like.
Is it the power requirements of it?
Yeah,
then?
it's just like it's got more power.
So what if they made it something?
You'd have to make a new Switch. You couldn't just make a new dock. The dock's like plastic.
You don't know. I'm saying that's what I'm saying. Is they make a dock that's actually like has computer parts inside of it.
Oh
shit.
yeah, okay.
Not just wiring so that it connects to a TV.
So it's like the Switch 64DD.
Sure.
Like, because that's the N64DD.
Wasn't that always in N64s?
No, that's the disc drive. This is only in Japan.
Oh, that's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Have you ever seen the picture? It's like an N64 on top of like what is effectively like almost another N64.
I have not.
Or like the fucking Sega Genesis with the 32X and the Sega CD.
Not seen that either.
You've fucking seen that.
I don't think so.
Okay. Whatever.
Move on.
The next Switch should have controllers like the Dreamcast.
It just becomes a Wii U again.
No, because the Dreamcast has the memory card that goes in the controller, but the memory card is also like a Tamagotchi Game Boy type deal.
Yeah.
That shit was cool.
Yeah.
Did you have a friend rich enough to have a Dreamcast as a kid?
No, but
I had one friend.
My stepmom's sister, her kids had a Dreamcast. And they had a hacked Dreamcast.
Ooh.
So whenever...
Well, wait, was it hacked or did they simply burn CDs for the Dreamcast because you just could?
It was hacked.
Oh.
It was like that thing people also did with their Xbox where all you had to do, you could just open it up and it just had infinite games already on there. So I would go over and I'd just like play games. I mostly play like Unreal Tournament 3. And I was not good at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I played Crazy Taxi with my friends.
Oh yeah, there was that one too. But that was also on the GameCube and the PS2.
But it was on the Dream before PS2. Anyway, moving on. Let's talk about the weeks, folks.
Yeah.
Do you want me to go first and talk about comic book bullshit, or do you want to go first and talk about other bullshit?
I just have a thing here. So I watched while I was eating dinner yesterday.
Yeah.
I watched the first episode of Castlevania Season 4.
Is it good? George and Emily told me that they watched all of Season 4 and it's fucking sick.
I'm only on the first episode. It looks amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
as
the
always.
show already looked really good.
Mm-hmm.
It somehow looks better. And I don't mean action. I mean the actual artwork.
Mm.
Like, there's a part where they just cut the, Sypha's face.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, how is this some animation?
Yeah.
It's too good. Like, I thought, but like the opening is just showing like how the world is very fucked right now.
Yeah.
And it's like they go through this like 6-week period. It's like 6 weeks since the ending of season 3, and Sypha and Trefor are just constantly fighting, like each like with each other because they're being all snappy.
Yeah.
And then fighting against like bad guys because they keep coming across people who are trying to resurrect Dracula, which is what you saw at the end of season 3. But they're just saying it's like happening all over. The first episode is pretty much just about them and Alucard. So there's a funny part. It's like at the end of the episode where Alucard, like, he looks like shit since like he killed those 2 people.
Yeah.
And he like looks up after like washing his face. He's like, my God, I'm turning into the Belmonts, because he just like looks drunk and shit.
That's funny.
And his face is all like disheveled because he's just not washing himself. But he is just so like, he walks around. I can't remember if he did this in the last season. He just walks around the castle shirtless the whole time. He puts on the fucking like coat and just on his shoulders, but he is shirtless.
I think he was wearing something like that.
I think he wore like an open top, but he was just like shirtless the whole fucking time. But like, you know, I honestly thought they were gonna lead into Sypha and Trefor like breaking up, but they're just
it's just Trevor.
Is it?
It's Trevor.
No, his name's. Oh wait, it is Trevor. That's what they call him, but his like real name is like Treffy or Trefor. That's why she calls him Treffy in like the first 2 seasons.
No, his name's just Trevor.
Bro, I swear to God.
It's Trevor, dude. It's Trevor Belmont.
Yeah. 1 second. I'm Googling it. Anyways, it was a very fun episode. I had a good time. Because like, there's the fucking part. I saw it on TikTok.
Yeah.
Where he finds like Sypha reads the thing and finds out that like they were trying to resurrect Dracula. Yeah. And he's just like saying to a room of like people who were about to be murdered, he's like, would you fucking do that? And they all like shake their head. He's like, fucking idiot, I'd kill you again if you were still alive.
Dude, that show's great. I need to watch it, but I also need to finish Invincible, because I only watched like the first 3 or 4 episodes of 8.
His alternate name is Ralph.
Yeah.
Japanese, his name is Ralph.
Rafu.
Yeah, I don't know what I was talking about.
Okay.
He just has it in the first season. He has a story where he talks about where his name came from, because it was like a weird name for a Belmont to have or something.
Like, yeah, but he's just like, it's
and
Trevor,
but then he says
like I think he goes into the Gaelic roots of Trevor.
Yeah, I think he does, and he says like, my name should, like, in the old like language, what the person I was named after was named like Trefor.
Yeah.
And I thought his name was actually just Trefor, but he goes from it because then Sypha calls him Treffy for like 2 full seasons.
Yeah, but that's just because she likes him and has a.
She just wants the
nickname.
dick.
Well, she got some in season 2, so
season 3
and 3, both, didn't they?
I feel like they were. I feel like it was implied in season 2, but it was very explicit in season 3. Like, there's the scene where they wake up in the inn and she's just fucking like
fully naked,
and so is he, and she like slaps him awake.
Yeah,
with her arm. I love her. She's so cool.
She's funny. She's great.
Also, she starts. Apparently, I honestly thought she had sworn at this point. Apparently, she did not. She did not curse until season 4.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah. And she has like a big freak out about it because she's like, "I'm turning into you, you fucker."
Yeah. That's great. So I don't know. What do you want me to start first of the 2 things on my list?
Just get through the comic book so I can just look at memes. I'm kidding. I listen to you.
Okay. So this week I started reading the fucking Immortal Hulk, and my God, it's fucking awesome. It's so good, dude. The Immortal Hulk is the closest modern comics have come to recreating Alan Moore's run on Swamp Thing.
Actually, I have a quick question about
Trevor.
Is this show, like this one, is this post Castlevania 3?
Yeah, so where the Castlevania 3 would really lead up to when they killed Dracula. That's one of the things that I was disappointed about with season 3 is I'm like, it should be a new Belmont by now. Like, we don't need to continue the story after this.
I just think they have more interest with Sypha.
I think some of the stuff they're doing with like Hector and who's the other guy?
Can't remember.
The slave guy.
Yeah, I know. I can't remember because he has like a non-white name.
Okay. But those two characters, I think they're from Portrait of Ruin or something. Hector's like the main character of that game because he's a good guy. But in this, they're obviously like doing the story completely different.
I saw this fucking meme and it was like one of it should have. It was like the two castles diverging path where it's like the happy one. It was like cute tomboy magician,
Yeah,
and it was a picture of Sypha, and it was like vampire Dommy Mommy, and it was the chick who enslaves Hector.
Yeah,
and like I'm like, yeah, Castlevania is based.
Dommy Mommy.
No, I'm going with Sypha.
I mean, I'll take both, man.
I prefer the actual vampire lady, like the one,
Carmilla.
yeah, Carmilla, over the other one.
She's a bitch, though.
Yeah, I know.
Dommy Mommy is nice sometimes.
Well, she's nice to hide the fact that she's a bitch.
Yeah, I'd rather have that.
Yeah.
But anyway, Immortal Hulk. Fucking fantastic book. If you're a comic book fan, I highly recommend you check out Immortal Hulk by Al Ewing. Basically, my pitch is, hey, you know how Hulk was originally a horror book?
Yeah.
It's a fucking horror book again. And the rules are different. There is a different personality to the Hulk now. Like, it's back to on the run type deal, but it's like fun. It's cool.
Hector was a bad guy.
Is Hector the bad guy?
He gets beaten by Trevor in Castlevania 3.
Oh yeah, well Hector's one of the they're still both the engine masters or whatever for the
Double
castle.
Forge Master.
Yeah, that's it.
Isaac, wow, we are racist.
Anyway, in the follow-up, Hector's a good guy and Isaac's a bad guy because Isaac's trying to bring back Drac.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? Never mind, this is a different dude.
Huh? No. It is Isaac. Isaac's just white in the game. He's black in the show.
Are you sure?
Yep. I knew that about him.
Okay, it's weird. Well, good character choice anyways.
Yeah. Anyway, Immortal Hulk fucking sick. I'd highly recommend it. Like the first book, like the first issue is really sick. It's like you have like a guy runs into into a gas station convenience store type deal, right? Fucking to rob it, and there's like a little girl and a dude in there and a dude behind the counter, and you know, he gets spooked and he fucking shoots all three of them, right?
Uh-huh.
And one of those three is Bruce Banner. And
Did you talk about this last week?
Yeah, I think I touched on it a bit.
Okay.
But one of those three is Bruce Banner, and Bruce Banner is just like dead.
Uh-huh.
But then at nighttime, his fucking corpse in the morgue turns into the Hulk. And the Hulk chases down the dude. And it's not the regular Hulk. It is the new version of Hulk that, like, again, the rules are different and it's got a different personality. It's smart. This Hulk winds up being called Devil Hulk.
Yeah.
And Devil Hulk talks to the fucking guy and is like, the guy's like, I'm not a bad person. Like, I didn't
killed like 3 people, including a child, so I think you are a bad person.
Right? It's like, I didn't mean to. And so then, like, the fucking Devil Hulk, you know, again, it's comic Hulk, so he doesn't really kill people, but Devil Hulk winds up fucking crippling this guy for life, just devastating all of his bones. And like, but it's done in this panel where the Hulk catches up to him, and it's a fucking two-page spread of just the Hulk's face saying shit to him. Like, it's fucking cool. It is creepy. It's got weird shit. It wants to explore this stuff. It wants to talk about this stuff in like a metaphysical way. It wants to like think about these things and like talk about them. And I adore it. It is one of the fucking coolest comics I've read in a long time. Again, like Alan Moore's Swamp Things vibes.
Uh-huh.
Like huge. Alan Moore's Swamp Thing, in case you don't know it, is fucking fantastic as well, and I'd highly recommend you check it out before you check this out, because this is new. Alan Moore's Swamp Thing is old. Right. But I would highly recommend you check this out. It's fucking incredible. Not to pun, but you know, it's really smart, and it's like it has the vibes of that like kind of British invasion comics from that era, you know, of like the Grant Morrison Animal Man or like Neil Gaiman's The Sandman, or it's like that, but it's with the Hulk, which is super interesting. Really gave me like a lot of care about the character. I'm blasting through the books of it. Like I read all 10 issues on, because I'm getting the hardcovers. I read all 10 issues in like a day, dude, of the first one, and now I'm on to the third one. I actually loaned the first one to my uncle because like I brought it out. I was like, you got to check this out, and he was like, yo, and I let him borrow it.
Nice.
Yeah. But yeah, Immortal Hulk's fucking fantastic, and if you're a comic book fan, you should be reading it because you're missing out.
Thumbs up.
Hell yeah. What do you want to talk about now?
My fucking jaw hurts right now.
Your jaw hurts?
I think the fucking like freezing I had today is finally leaving my system. But like it's like up in my face right now. Like it's up here.
It's painful.
To here. It's just like an annoying pain.
Oh.
Probably take some Tylenol when I get home. I fucking get rid of it. I think I took Tylenol when I woke up this morning because I was hungover.
Yeah.
And I had to go have drill stuffed in my mouth for about an hour.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the Tylenol accelerated the freezing because like usually they wait like 5 minutes. Yeah. It was pretty instant that I felt it go away.
Nice.
Yeah. God, it was so uncomfortable. Like, you know, have you ever had a cavity?
Yeah, I had like one, but I was lucky. Like it was super chill.
Yeah. So like normally, you know, you go there, you go for your cleaning, and they go like, bro,
we got to book you a second appointment for the cavity.
You that one tooth fucked up. Well, for me, it's like, bro, all your teeth fucked up. So it's a slippery. I swear to God, it's a slippery slope. Once you get once you get like one or two, your mouth is fucked forever.
Honestly, I had the same thing. Like I got one. Like I went through my entire life without one, and then when I was like 20, 21 type deal, I got one. And then like, you know, during COVID, like I didn't go to the dentist for like a full year plus. Yeah. And so like, I went recently, and then I had like 2 or 3. Yeah, it's just. But yeah, I was lucky those 2 or 3, like I said, like were super chill. I like booked a second appointment and they were like 5 minutes. But like when you go for your cleaning, you have to have your fucking mouth open for a long time. Your jaw, you normally wouldn't start to feel it hurt because you're only there for 20 minutes and your mouth isn't even open the whole time. When you are there for an hour because you double booked, your jaw starts to hurt. Like it's bad. I don't know how women do this. Well, you don't have to keep your mouth open. Yeah. I didn't want to be exclusionary. Or they-thems who just suck cock. Yeah. But also you don't do this. Unless it's like a cartoonish dick. Yeah. Also, wait. I don't know. You gotta fucking get them teeth out of there. Well, the alternative is like, you don't get lockjaw when you go down on a woman, but it's also you just harder. Blow a man with your full teeth. Yeah. I really like when you scratch it. How much teeth do you want? All of it. Get your molars in there. I'm just gonna say Mass Effect till the end. So last night, you watched the first couple episodes of Invincible. Yeah, I watched it in a watch party on a stream because I was finished Apex with Blake. How do you feel about the show? I want to tell you my whole story. Okay. Finished Apex with Blake. Was watching a guy on Twitch who was just playing Spelunky, just drunk, just chatting it up. Usually I just kind of am a lurker, but this time I was like, fuck it. I'm going to hang out with people. Because I thought no one else was online. So I'm like, I'm going to go have a parasocial relationship with this streamer real quick. But then that streamer that I was watching is absolutely like, I'm not your fucking friend. Not at all. You're a viewer. I am a man playing a game. If I don't want to talk to you, I won't. Was it Ludwig? No, it was a smaller guy. Oh. It was a dad as heck. He's playing Spelunky, and he's like, I want to watch something. Oh, let's watch Invincible, because you can do Amazon watch parties. Yeah. It shows on Amazon Prime. So we watched it, enjoyed it, just had like a chat about it. It is a good show. The people just casually spoil things by accident all the time. It fucking sucks. Yeah, it's frustrating. We watched the first episode. I knew everything that happened, and I was like, "Oh, this is interesting." He doesn't get his powers until later in life. That's why he's having this new relationship with his dad.
his parents are horny as fuck, and obviously can't stop putting hot old men in Henleys. I cannot handle it. But Sandra Oh the characters can get it.
Yeah.
Like, damn, everyone's hot. Except for those kids. Not saying anything about that. Because they are in high school. I was hoping they were in college, but nope, they're in high school.
It's a high school thing.
Yeah. Also, he's 17, so.
Yeah.
It was a good time. I enjoyed it. I think it was cool. I looked up one thing, and apparently that dude who's not Superman, like the leader of the team,
Yeah.
Like the Jack dude, is called like Millennial Man or some shit.
Yeah.
Because he's been alive for 1,000 years, and at one point in his character backstory, he was Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah.
That's really funny.
Invincible's full of like weird background characters.
Well, they had all they show off these characters so much and then fucking murder them.
I love that.
And the fight scene is good.
Extra. Yeah.
It's definitely better than the comics one.
Of the gore, you mean?
Well, no, because in the comics, I had to look this up to double check, and I found Screen Rant was the only thing I could find.
Yeah.
But it's just like in the comics, apparently, it's just he summons them all there.
Yeah.
And then he just cuts to him walking home. Like he just shows up back home.
Yeah,
because it wasn't a struggle. He actually just annihilated them easily. But like,
so it wasn't much of a struggle in the show either.
It was no. He still got beat down. He still got knocked out at the end. Like he still had he did a full fucking fight.
Yeah,
like he got like him crushing Red Flash or whatever his name is.
The Russian Flash guy.
Yeah, but his name's like Red Rush.
Oh yeah.
Him crushing Red Rush's head while he's like punching him, and it's so like feeble that he starts punching so hard his wrists are broken. He's just hitting him with like his like bloody stumps.
Ugh.
But like Omni-Man's suit gets ripped, his chest starts getting bruised, and he gets a little bloody. He's like he kills Batman pretty fast or whatever his fucking character's name is. But like War Woman and Millennium Man,
they like last a little bit longer.
They last till the end, and also when he like kills Red Rush in front of them, the whole team is like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah,
because they never expected it to actually end up like that, and they are like at the same time the audience reaction of what the fuck.
I think it was bold to do that at the end of episode 1. The equivalent in the comics, it would have been like at the end of episode 3 or 4. Because like you're just literally in this like high school thing, and then it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah. But I think going into it being like a superhero universe thing is a lot more interesting than just like, because it's like it kind of feels like how Harley Quinn tries to do their universe, where it's like supervillains are just everywhere and there's nothing you can really do about it. You need the superhero, like the superheroes are necessary in the society, where like those fucking 2 security guards outside of the White House, they're just casually talking about like fucking 9/11's happening. Like it's very good. But then we started the next episode, and I was like, wow, I just looked at the cast list, and Jason Mantzoukas is in this show. I really hope. I forgot though, and I'm like, I hope he shows up in this episode. He shows up like 5 seconds later after I said that in chat.
Team, baby.
Yeah, he's a dick.
He's Rex-splode.
Yeah, he's a dickhead. He's once again a character written for Jason Mantzoukas, pretty much.
Yeah.
Like,
Jason Mantzoukas read the comics as they were coming out.
Oh, that's good. Well,
I saw an interview because he loves comics.
But just like,
but in the interview, he said something super dumb, and I was like, "Bro, how is this what you say?" Where he's like, "Yeah, well, I'm part of the team, which is kind of like the Young Avengers to like to the Avengers that is like the whatever, right? Whatever the fucking main team.
And not equating it to Teen
Titans.
Titans.
Not Justice League and Teen Titans.
Yeah, but maybe he wasn't a DC guy.
I don't know. How do you not know? Like, it's literally called the fucking Teen Team.
When listening to like to how did this get made?
Yeah,
he definitely was a Marvel guy growing up, because he talks about when they watch movies like Batman and Robin and Catwoman, he's like doesn't know anything about Batman or Catwoman. Like he even has to ask the question. He has like Paul Scheer on the podcast. He's like, "Does Catwoman have any powers?" And it's like, no, she fucking doesn't. That's why the movie's also stupid, because Catwoman gets cat powers and isn't like
Damn, I didn't know he
Cynic
was
Kyle.
that much of a I don't read DC comics. Yeah.
He's a very like weird dude. He seems to like not really
Like I know
engage with
George,
pop culture
our
stuff,
friend George. He is more of a Marvel guy than
but
I
he still
am.
knows Batman.
But he still knows like some basic shit.
Yeah,
I gave him some advice because he was like, I might want to read The Flash, and I was like, oh, just fucking New 52, easy.
yeah.
Easy.
It wasn't a bad one in the New 52,
Yeah,
as far as I know.
Start of the, it's like chill.
Yeah, so it's an enjoyable time. I think it was a weird thing where like the aliens coming into the world and they rapidly age.
That was cool. I like
cool.
that story.
Yeah, Omni-Man just shows up at the end and fucks everything up, but then he goes into their time portal, kills them, drops like massacres the species, and then just casually walks back into the house.
Yeah,
And I really like that his mom's reaction. He's like going like, "Mom, I have something to tell you. Dad went into a time portal and I don't know what's going to happen to him."
Yeah.
And she's just like, "Oh, so he's not going to be home for dinner then? All right." Like,
Yeah.
clearly she's been dealing with this for her whole life. Or her whole time as
yeah,
being with him.
yeah.
So, like, that was just really funny.
I did think that was funny. In the comics, you don't learn what he did to them until much later. Until much later.
Yeah.
Like, he just comes back, and you're like, oh, okay.
I just like that he comes back with, like, a full beard.
Yeah.
Just because, like, I got to take a shower. I'm
Yeah.
stinky. Yeah.
Did you get to see the
I don't know. What do you think?
Okay, I think that's maybe in one of the next episodes then.
I know that the teen team knows that he is that Omni-Man is his dad because he flies into the portal, and when it closes, he's like, "Dad," and then Rex blows. He's like, "Omni-Man's your father?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that show's good. I should finish season 1. I think it's a really cool show.
You know what I don't understand?
What?
How he was being bullied.
What do you mean?
At the beginning of the in the first episode, before he gets his full powers,
Yeah.
there's like a dude who threatens him, like
Yeah, because he's a nerd.
Yeah, but he's a nerd. But he's like a nerd. How like Andrew Garfield's a nerd in fucking Spider-Man. He like still is
Yeah.
a physically fit man.
Well, no, he's not supposed to be. He's like a fucking. He's skinny. He doesn't do.
He's
he doesn't
skinny,
work
but
out.
he's like he looks like skinny fit. I'm saying because of his
Well,
genes.
that's because he's like, yeah. But like, the idea is like, because the guy's much bigger than him that's bullying him.
Didn't
so.
look that much bigger, but yeah. But like he still did.
And-
He didn't look like a bullying candidate. Like his buddy looked bullyable, not him.
Yeah. His
And
buddy's gay, so he almost certainly was bullied.
nice.
Well, you know it. He's like, your
saw-
dad's kind of hot.
I saw this fucking this one tweet where it's like, how did bullies have such good gaydar? They could like always tell. They'd be like,
Yeah.
walk up to a kid, and be like, "What's up, F slur?" And then
how'd you
they'd be
know?
like,
I didn't
"I'm
even
not
know."
gay, bro." And then like 20 years later, they're like, "I am gay."
Yeah.
How did Kevin know? Yeah, but then also that was weird where he's like, it sounded like Mark was being bullied because Amber was telling him to bully Mark or something. Because at the end, she's like, "Here's Amber's." He's like, is like a gopher, and he's like, "Here's Amber's number" or whatever.
Because he stands up for Amber, and then she was like, because I think she had something on him.
Yeah,
This is a thing. So like, part of it is this is a thing from like 2005, like the
Yeah.
comics from
Also,
2005.
from what I know of TikTok, I have seen that Amber is apparently a horrible bitch.
I haven't gotten to that part yet, but yeah.
But then in the comics, someone was like, "If you think Amber sucks in the show, here's what she did in the comics," and it's like it's even shittier.
No. I thought it's been a long time since I read this part of the comics, but I think in the comics he doesn't reveal who he is to her early, so she thinks he's like a drug dealer, and that's why he's always leaving.
Yeah.
Right. Whereas like in the show, he reveals it a bit.
All right. So
earlier.
maybe, but but from what I read,
And she's like a bitch about him leaving all the time.
yeah, but
Yeah.
she's like in the comics, she like,
Doesn't know.
but she also blatantly goes to like possibly cheat on him when he's like out there saving the world, because it's like she very quickly goes from "I'm your girlfriend" to "I'm gonna go fuck my ex because you won't hang out with me on like every single moment of the day."
Yeah. I haven't.
She's a
gotten to
bad person.
Yeah, I haven't gotten to that part of the show, but yeah, I think people were like, they made her black and a worse person
Yeah.
in the show, like because she was white in the comics.
Yeah, well, I'm sure like Rexplode was also probably a white dude, and like that green person who could like
Was a man,
who
yeah.
could phase was a man, and also was probably a white man as
No,
well.
I think he was black.
Okay, so now
'Cause
it's
he's
just a
Martian
black
Manhunter.
woman. Well,
The
there's
Green
Martian
Per-
Manhunter, but there's no Green Lantern. The green woman is
Oh.
more Green Lantern,
Oh,
but
yeah,
also
yeah.
Martian Manhunter, and then there's also Martian Man.
Yeah, Martian Man. Yeah, I mean, it's fucking so obviously Justice League and Teen Titans and all that shit. But that's why I was saying you would like this show if you like Young Justice, because it's similar vibes completely.
Yeah, it's just a lot more gory.
It's a bit more gory and adult and stuff.
There's actually an anime that all that scene in like the second episode where he tries to save that old lady and she like gets her whole body fucked up.
Yeah.
There is a scene in an anime that I think is going on right now where this girl goes to like stop a car from killing 2 children.
Yeah.
And she goes to like protect the children with her body, but then she uses like her superpowers to stop the car.
Yeah.
And snaps the kids' necks with her strength at the same time. And I'm like, God, there's something wrong with the culture in Japan right now.
Yeah.
There is way too many shows where it's like in the middle of the series, oh, let's just kill off like 20,000 people right now. Like Chainsaw Man.
Yeah.
Well, the beginning of Chainsaw Man is that there was like 10 million people killed because the gun devil showed up. And then when he shows up again at the end of part 1,
there's the whole list of names thing.
it's the whole list of name things that I fucking came over. But then also in Jujutsu Kaisen, there's a part where the big bad takes control of like the main character's body for only a minute and erases Shibuya off the map and everyone who was there. Like literally, it just becomes a crater in the earth, and that's it.
Or like in Devilman, where the world ends.
Yeah, but it's like but Devilman was written a long time ago.
Yeah, it's from the 80s.
So that's like me if I brought up Berserk right now as well. But it's just like there's so many things in these modern, currently running shows where it's just massive It's like a fucking. It's like it's like a rebuttal to like Naruto's bullshit, where it's like it's the 4th Great Ninja War. It's like we have been told that the Ninja Wars in 1 and 2, the first 3 Ninja Wars were incredibly bloody, and like people died, and like important people were killed, like Madara's younger brother. Or Madara's younger brother, Madara's younger brother, he stole his eyes and then he died on the battlefield. Fucking, the first Hokage had like 5 siblings and was only left with his one younger brother because they all were killed as like children soldiers. But then you get to the 4th war and it's like every named character in Naruto lives except for Neji. And that's it.
Yeah, I don't know if it's that or it's just like
or Dragon Ball Z, where everyone
stress,
constantly comes back.
Or the stress to like always be upping the ante with like how big it gets.
I also might just think that it's a whole thing about like Japan's overpopulation and just being like these people are just fodder, like they mean nothing, like they're literal corporate drones sort of thing.
Yeah, I don't know. It also might be like trying to compete with like the Marvel movie thing, right? Where it's like there's got to be this big fucking. Right.
Yeah, there's got to be some big thing that happens. That's the problem with like Marvel movies right now as well, with like Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Where like with Mysterio, I'm like, oh, maybe it'll be low key. No, we destroy all of London and fucking.
No, well, it is kind of low key. Like they don't,
it's
they
low
destroy
key.
part
He's just
of London.
He's still. They destroy like the historical part of London.
Yeah.
It's just still too like.
Yeah,
too high stake.
It's a bit, and obviously the next one's going to be super high stakes.
Well, it's just that's what he is now. That's why I think we talked about this before. Where I think it'd be interesting to introduce Miles Morales.
Yeah, I would like more street level stuff
in
Marvel, but I get that like that's not what they're here for.
Yeah, it's like that they introduced Spider-Man too late in the game.
Yeah,
like if he was at the beginning, then we might have gotten these movies like Spider-Man 1, like.
The Amazing
Tobey
Spider-Man
Maguire ones.
Yeah, the Amazing Spider-Man movies are both pretty street level.
Yeah.
Like they get big, but
they get big in the second one because they threw too much shit in.
I like both of those movies. I think they're both great. I know not everybody.
I think they're just okay. Feelings. I think there's good moments, but I like whatever.
The Amazing ones are my favorite Spider-Mans personally.
I think okay, fine, but I think Andrew Garfield's probably the worst Spider-Man.
I think he's the best Spider-Man. I don't know if he's the best Peter Parker, but I think he's the best Spider-Man.
You got me with that one.
Yeah,
you got me with that one.
But I think he's the funniest. Like Tom Holland,
he definitely has the most quippy, and he feels like the fucking.
I don't think any of Tom Holland's Spider-Man lines are memorable, but I can tell you this.
Yeah.
Everybody remembers, oh no, my one weakness,
Or
tiny knives.
Or also when the guy is like, "Who are you?" and he's like, "Does no one understand the concept of a mask?" There's a reason why he's wearing it.
Andrew Garfield, I think, as Spider-Man, like, has some of the best.
His
lines.
quips were very good.
Yeah, like,
yeah,
and I really love. I like the way, I think of all of them, like, I think the way that like web swinging was shot in the Amazing movies, like, is probably the most exciting and interesting. Like, Amazing Spider-Man 2 opens up where it's like I believe, I could be wrong, but the camera's like on his back for the logo and it pulls out, and then like he's like he swings down.
Yeah, also that suit was pretty good.
Oh, the suit in the second one is the most comics accurate suit.
Yeah. Well, I don't really care for comics accurate stuff because, as you know, we got this argument about Captain Falcon's Captain America suit.
Yeah, I think it looks great, but again, you're entitled to your opinion. But
so, Invincible, cool show.
Yeah,
I was gonna watch more with the stream, but this guy streams really late, and he said the next episode we'll watch. No, he watched 1 and 2, and then the stream ended, and then he's like, "We'll watch more on Sunday," and I'm like, "Well, I gotta fucking wake up at 7, for Monday, so I'm probably gonna miss it." Yeah, so I'll just watch it by myself now. Boo-hoo! I have to watch things like a normal person.
Yeah, I'm glad you like it. I knew you would because you like Young Justice. So
yeah, it just took a while to come around on it.
It's funny how big that show got. Like, I was like, if you remember when the first 2 episodes came out, because they came out on the same day.
Yeah,
I watched them right on release date, and I was like, everybody should fucking watch this. It's such a great show. And then now, like, I'm seeing nothing but like memes and shit about the show.
Oh, also that fucking part where Mark goes to space and fights that like alien.
That was cool.
Where he's like, this is Urath, right? He's like, no, this is Earth, and he's like, oh. My bad. I'm voiced by Seth Rogen. I'm out of here.
Alan the alien. He's a big recurring character.
He's funny.
But what that reveals, obviously, is that
there's
Omni-Man has never talked to him.
Alan the alien?
Right, because like Alan says he comes all the time, every couple of years or whatever.
Oh, and Omni-Man's never the one he's ever dealt with. He's probably dealt with like Millennium Man or something.
No, he's only dealt with Omni-Man. He recognizes Mark as Omni-Man.
Oh.
But Omni-Man always just fights him, and then Mark solves the problem by just talking with him.
Oh.
Right? Which kind of is, again, like, because, like, we don't know about him murdering everybody at that point in the comic.
Yeah.
That's, like, another hint that maybe Omni-Man's not a good guy. You know?
Yeah.
Because Alan the Alien's such a good guy.
Fucking, like, that, obviously that meme has, like, spoiled parts of the show.
Think, Mark, think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it doesn't put it as much in context. It's just like, wow, they fight for some reason. But then, like, God, Amazon's, like, advertising for that show did put major spoilers out there.
Yeah.
And, like, people were like, whoa, spoilers. And I'm like, oh, well, it's out of context. And I'm like, shut the fuck up. If it can be, it could probably very easily become in context would be watching one fucking episode.
Mm-hmm.
It's like if I spoiled the Rise of Sky. Well, that's not a good one because no one cares.
Yeah.
But like if I was like an old man in a chair and it's like, oh, I wonder, and then you're like 5 seconds in, you're like, oh fuck. Obviously, it happens at the start of the movie.
Yeah. The dead speak.
Did you see Colin
Trevorrow's thing?
Like actual script?
No, I didn't read it. I don't care.
I saw a thing. Well, it's that it wasn't supposed to be that Palpatine comes back in his script. It was that he got, like, the Sith holocron thing didn't lead him to the planet. It's that it had a message for Darth Vader from Palpatine. That's what the dead speak thing was always going to be in there.
Yeah.
But it's that he was still fucking dead. It's that he gave him the location of another Sith master, and then the holocron explodes in his face, and then they were going to put him, like, with some, like, Beskar on his face.
Yeah.
Like, do, like, the mask actually fuse to his skin sort of thing.
Yeah,
but then they were supposed to go meet another Sith master, and this is where I stopped watching, because I'm like, what if this is really good? Then I'm just going to be more upset about
it probably wasn't going to be good.
Did you see the thing J.J. Abrams said recently?
Oh, maybe we should have planned something.
In retrospect, I should have planned the fucking trilogy out. And it's like, yeah, you fucking idiot.
The problem wasn't that though. The problem was that you're a fucking terrible improviser, J.J. You ask all these questions in your movie, Rian Johnson answers them, and then you say, no, actually.
Yeah, but then also, you said no, actually, because majority of the people who watched episode 8 were like, I don't like the answers here.
Okay, but the answer isn't to go fuck you. Actually,
No, it's not. It's
to
absolutely
keep
not.
moving
It's
and
to
do
try and
something
fix
else.
it. It's not to try and fix it. It's to like just move on with the fucking story.
Exactly.
Let's actually. Ray should have still been nothing.
Yeah, that's like one of the best things in that movie.
It is like I don't like anything else in that movie, but Kylo Ren being like, "You're nothing. You're trash. You're just a person." I'm like, awesome,
because
that shows that you can be a Jedi. You don't like these Jedi don't have to be from some fucking magical bloodline. You can just be anyone.
But here's the thing. So you remember how like he's like, I never lied to you. They were nothing because they chose to be.
That's so dumb.
His line in episode 8 is they sold you for money for alcohol.
Buy drugs or something.
No, for alcohol. Like they sold you for drink or whatever.
Yeah.
So does that mean that canonically they did sell her to protect her, but that they spent the money on alcohol?
They took some booze.
They spent the money on alcohol.
What it looks like in the fucking movie is that she gets dropped off
and they fly away.
And they pretty much get caught as soon as they drop her off.
That's also dumb.
It is. It's so fucking stupid.
It's like, how did he not figure it out? The
also,
fucking bounty hunter guy or whatever.
Billy D. Williams showing up as this dude who's still out there as like an agent for the Resistance is fucking stupid as well. Mm-hmm. He should have just shown up as a Resistance general at the base. He shouldn't have been out there. It's stupid.
Yeah.
Like,
It's not a very good movie.
It's not.
I'm going to talk about the Scarlet Nexus demo.
Sure.
I played it last night.
Anime Dark Souls.
It's not anime Dark Souls. That's Code Vein.
You can have more than one anime Dark Souls.
It's not Dark Souls.
I actually don't remember. Just talk about it.
Okay. Scarlet Nexus, in case you don't remember, is a game by Bandai Namco. I believe it's by the Tales developers within Bandai Namco. And it appears to be like a character action type game with RPG elements. And it's pretty much just a ripoff of Astral Chain, but instead of the stand thing, it's like more basic combat. It's not, I wouldn't even necessarily call it character action, but it is action. It's not Dark Soulsy at all, but your gimmick in this game is that you have telekinesis, and so you can like lift shit and throw it with like.
Oh, you mean psychokinesis?
No,
that's what I was when I was googling it on Wikipedia. That's what or not on Wikipedia. When I was googling it on Google.
Yeah.
It said something there. 1 second. Oh yeah, from post on Google, Scarlet Nexus, like actually from them.
Yep.
It says experience the psychokinesic action with Scarlet Nexus demo edition available today on Xbox.
Okay. So it's psychokinesis. It's same. It's telekinesis. It's
the word. Thing. It's all bullshit.
But yeah, so I played. There is a boy character and a girl character. The girl character has, I think, more long range abilities. The boy character actually does action with swords and shit. And it's fun. It's legitimately a good game. It's not quite on the level of Platinum, because you can't do that good combo type deal. Like, it's not like super good character action. You're not going to be doing sick combo, but it does feel really good mixing up like the hitting attack buttons with the throwing stuff, with the special throwing stuff, with the you can like there are different powers that you can kind of combine. So like you can use like pyrokinetic abilities that'll make like your attacks all fire attacks, or you can use a teleport to be able to do nothing personnel kid. You can do one that like makes you take less damage or whatever, and you can do one that's like other ones. There's like a party, there's EXP. Again, it still is very much an Astral Chain ripoff in a lot of ways, but I think it might be accidental. I don't know how, because like Astral Chain came out in 2019 August, and it was only announced in February of that year. I don't think there was enough time for them to rip it off and to be out yet.
Yeah,
you know, but it's so similar, like it's wild. But the game's pretty fun. I would recommend it if you're looking for an action game that uses PS5. It's not got the world's best graphics or anything, but it runs pretty nice.
It's an anime game.
Yeah, anime game.
Also, all anime games will look inherently fucking bad when, like graphics wise, when the main character is all like bishy boy,
yeah, like
handsome, like little man and cute women, and then the graphics surrounding them are supposed to be like hyper realistic.
Yeah, I think it's fun. I would highly recommend you check out the demo if you like action video games. I didn't play as the girl though. So maybe I don't know if the long range abilities are better or worse.
I'm watching a trailer and the guy's just using the girl as like an assist. Never actually switches.
No. It's on the main menu that you play as both. There's a bunch of girls that you can get in your team. But
okay, so the girl you had the option to look like a long range character, but there could be a girl who's like, I use a giant sword.
So there's a party, but they're like when you hit new game, it's like, do you start with his story or her story? I think the stories might even be different, right? But if you're seeing it played as the guy, there's like a bunch of people on the team that you can use as support abilities, like I was saying, that you can like nothing personnel kit or whatever. Yeah. But it is fun. It's cool.
So there's a devil trigger.
Yeah, there is a DT.
But then,
but it kind of triggers on its own.
But also, it turns into like a different like fighting style, which I don't like.
It doesn't really.
Well, I'm just from the clip I just saw. It looked like he had like a different move and he was doing other things. Instead of just fighting with the sword, he was using like some giant pole.
No, that's not even the DT. You can just do that while
you're playing. Just a super move?
No, it's not. It's like just regular gameplay.
Okay.
It's like you build up a meter. I guess it's kind of like a super move. You build up a meter, and when you have meter, you can do your telekinesis abilities to pick up like cars and shit and throw. And it's just the R2 button. You just hold R2.
Okay.
But DT, I think, makes everything faster and stronger.
Good.
Yeah.
Because a DT that like changes up your moveset sucks. That's like my problem with Code Vein. It's that when you DT, you like only use certain moves. It just boo. It's dookie. Yeah.
But yeah, that's all I have to say.
Yeah.
You're gonna talk about Mass Effect again?
Well, yeah.
Fuck you.
Mass Effect's so fun.
Sure.
And you haven't even fucking played it yet.
I haven't touched it.
Mass Effect 2.
I'm so bad. I still need to finish fucking Nier, honestly.
Yeah. Well, I still also have ending E left.
I have ending A.
Yeah, but you've at least already beaten Nier before.
Yeah, I did.
So, like, I'm just playing Mass Effect. Like, I'm blazing through it. I got, like, 50 hours in, like, 2 weeks. But,
damn.
Mass Effect 2 is so... I hate how little RPG options there are in Mass Effect 2. Mass Effect 1 was this, like, full-ass RPG with, like, a big character skill tree. You had to manage your equipment. You could, like, do... like upgrades and stuff, like equipping buffs pretty much. But then Mass Effect, okay, I feel like, did I say Mass Effect 1 with the RPG elements?
Yeah, Mass Effect 1 had more RPG stuff. But Mass Effect 2 and 3 are more action-y because they want it to be more mainstream.
But here's the Mass Effect 2, it's all gone.
Yeah.
All the armor choices are now stylistic and they look like shit. You can also change the color of your armor fully and put like patterns on it. But let's be fair, you're probably just going to play with the standard N7 armor because that's what it looks best in.
I changed it slightly. I remember putting like a lot of red on it.
That's fine. And there's one pattern you can get that I think actually looks good, where it just adds like additional lines. But the other pattern is like red camo, and it's like, this ain't it, Chief. I'm not looking to wear camo in space. In like, it's pointless. So yeah,
red camo was also pointless.
The game, because it's very bright. Unless you're on a fire world.
Like, I mean, in the real world.
What if you're in a mountain? What if you're at the volcano in Hawaii and you're somehow close enough to the lava? Yeah, you die. I think you can't get within like 5 feet of it without burning to death.
Yeah, I think you melt. Like, and that's funny because obviously that's not how lava works in any other thing we've seen.
Yeah,
where it's just like, don't touch it, but it's like lava makes the room it's in so hot you would die.
Yeah. Mass Effect 2 though is just like, there's no exploration anymore. You just play through story missions and that's it. Like, there's like 30 of them because you get it's like the biggest squad options.
Yeah, but the shooting is so much better.
The shooting is so much better, but the abilities are now garbo. Like, the only worthwhile abilities are warp and overload. Everything else is shit and unnecessary. Well, also putting like elements on your weapons like incendiary ammo. That's fine. It's just and Incinerate's a good ability. Everything else is shit. because it's so situational.
Yeah.
But those can always be used, and even when you're using it against like Overload is good against shields, but you can still use it on barriers.
Yeah.
Or Incinerate, it can be used against everything, and Warp can be used against like barriers and armor, and it's still just as good. It's just like it's a pure cover shooter game with extra bullshit.
Yeah.
But then Mass Effect 3, they bring back a lot more. There's a lot more variety in the weapons. You can use any weapon you want because they added in a weight system. And the weight
3, I remember 3 having better combat.
3 has 3 because it uses all aspects of the combat. It's not just pure shooting. It's like they have biotic abilities that are now really good, and so are all the tech ones. But I've only played as like a biotic character in 3. But I get to go full on 8 mode because the only combination is you play a Vanguard, you max out your biotic charge immediately, and then you max out your Nova, and you get in a straight, and you bring in no weapons except for a pistol. You have 200% ability recharge when you do it like that, and you just fucking use your biotic charge into a person, do Nova, it eliminates every enemy, turn around because there is a slowdown time, and as like by the time you get shot again and start being able to take damage, like health damage, because you have no shield because of the Nova, you can already zip to the next guy, get your shield back with your leveled up biotic charge, and then you just do this fucking endlessly. It's so fun. But it removes all stakes. I'm playing on hardcore because they removed the veteran difficulty. Yeah. And I literally feel like I should have just played this fucking game on Insanity. It's so fucking easy. But it's so fun. The story's better. Like, the gameplay's better. The way you go through things, it throws you right into it immediately. You have, like, one shitty cutscene where Shepard, in a very awkward pose, goes, "The Reapers are coming!" And you're, like, limp-wristed for some reason while you point at the door. And then the Reapers come to Earth. There's a big explosion.
The little boy dies.
You immediately get into it. There's a big fight.
Little boy dies.
Little boy dies, and he is the process of you being indoctrinated in the whole game. But that's not canon. That's not real. Casey Hudson just had this boy for some reason show up. They kill a child. It's sick.
Yeah, he's like, well, we should have Shepard feel bad because a kid died.
Yeah. Which also, Shepard has killed tons of children.
Yeah.
Because of it is... because of the
He's a
Arrival
soldier.
DLC, but because of the Arrival DLC in Mass Effect 2, there is no way not to do that DLC. You have to crash that asteroid into that Batarian colony and genocide the entire Batarian people. There is no way to stop it.
Well, they're not white people.
They're also actually villains.
Oh.
Because the reason the humans got into war with aliens when they first got into space because they assumed hostility, but then they figured it out with everyone else, and then the Batarians were also like in a relatively like young age of space travel, and were like trying to genocide humans to remove competition to get on the council, and because the humans weren't the instigator in that war, they got an ambassador on the council. And the Batarians got pushed off to the side because they were assholes. And then they become, like, terrorists for the rest of the universe. Yeah.
So it's okay to genocide them because some of them are terrorists?
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, you know, just like something else that's happening in real life.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. No, babe, it's essential. We had to kill these 200 children and non-militants because they were probably part of the Hamas.
Yeah. And Hamas is really bad. That's why we need to spend $8 billion a year on fucking, like, weapons of mass destruction when they fire off fireworks at us.
Yeah. Or throw a rock. Yeah, so...
You hear about that fucking cop?
Which cop?
Okay, not...
the coronavirus cop?
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck that. Did you see the bullshit they did afterwards?
Yeah. So, like, this cop... That's the part that was the most funny to me. So, in Denver, Colorado, this cop dies of COVID. He's like 33, right?
Yeah, and
this thing.
He's talking shit on it.
He's young. It's whatever. It's a little bit sad, but whatever.
Sad because he had like a kid.
Yeah. But then you go to his Instagram, and the last post on his Instagram is like, You tell me to wear a mask? The mask you're wearing better be strong enough to block an uppercut. Because
Okay.
I'm going to physically assault you for telling me to have basic empathy.
Yeah.
I'm a police officer.
I'm a police officer. I give tickets to people who wear the mask.
That's right. I'm a cop, and I'm legally allowed to carry a gun to protect other people, and that's why I think you shouldn't wear a mask.
Yeah.
Anyway, so then like that comes out, and that's already like kind of funny. It's like, okay, whatever. He asked for it. He decided to be an anti-masker, and he died of COVID.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have that much sympathy. But then, doesn't it get written down as dying in the line of duty?
Yeah.
Like, bro, if his job wasn't a cop, if he just worked in an office and he was also an anti-masker, he would still be dead.
Yeah.
That's
Honestly,
how bad. You know that if you're a cop and you commit suicide, they'll write it down as dying in the line of duty.
Yeah, PTSD.
Yeah.
But also, you know what I was...
Or just being depressed.
I've been thinking about something. This is just totally normal thought process to me.
Yeah.
Is just like, if your job can be replaced by some sort of like VI, like some sort of program,
Yeah.
you shouldn't be making that much money. But if your job is like, you're always going to need some sort of human contact in it,
Yeah.
you should be making like $25 plus an hour. So McDonald's can't run without people. Like, think about like a factory or like an office space. As time goes on, those places start to hire less and less people. Like the machine I worked on
Yeah.
had 7 people. In the 80s when the place opened, had 20 people to run it.
Right, and you worked at a factory.
Yeah. So so all those jobs
Yeah.
went away because of like automation.
Yeah.
But if you go back to 1980s factories
Yeah.
to compare to now, a lot less people, like smaller places. But then you look at a McDonald's in the 1980s, you had like 5 to 10 people working back there. You go to a McDonald's now, there's still 5 to 10 people working there.
Well, actually, they're replacing people with the fucking ATMs there.
That's just cashiers, though. Like, you
Yeah, I
still need
guess.
people to make the food.
Yeah.
So all I'm saying is, if you work in a McDonald's, your job is more necessary than mine.
Sure.
Yeah. So you should be making...
I think arguably...
Or also people who work in grocery stores.
Yeah.
So you always... Even if cashiers go away and it's all self-checkouts...
I would say
need
arguably mine is similarly important.
Yours is because you have to actually deal with people.
Well, yeah, not really.
But,
But
like,
I'm
there-
doing paperwork for important government shit.
Yes, because something like that. But I'm saying, like... You know... Data entry people. Is that what you do?
Yeah, basically. But it's
I'm not saying you
important.
should make less.
It's important
I'm just
data
saying
entry.
that people who do...
I
like,
think more people should be making the amount of money I do because I make great money.
think $25 an hour at a grocery store should be the bare minimum.
Yeah, you should be making $50K a year at a grocery
Yeah.
store, easy.
Especially when you're fucking abused by like people in public.
Yeah,
Yeah,
especially
absolutely.
in COVID when your job is fucking deadly.
And they don't get their like... Because when COVID started, they were getting like $2
Some
extra
hazard
dollars
pay,
or whatever.
Now
Now they don't get anything.
yeah.
And also they still get like... There was another COVID outbreak at my mom's store.
Oh,
So, like, you know, more people off. Because you just can't win with these fuckers. Yeah.
yeah.
So, anyways. Lower skill jobs should still be making a lot more than higher skill jobs.
Well, and like
Higher
here's
skill
the vibe.
doesn't mean more effort.
I think the thing about skilled is dumb because it's like what skill does, like, what high skill job is there? If fucking sitting in boardroom meetings, that's high skilled, you piece of shit. That compared to something where you have to deal with the public
The
and
only
stand
time-
on your feet all day, that's not a fucking skill.
The only jobs we should call high skill jobs are like doctors,
Yeah,
veterinarians.
which that's just a doctor, but for
It's a
dogs.
doctor for dogs and cats and other weird animals.
Yeah,
And dentists, because they also have to go through like a whole medical school thing. They just get dunked on by doctors because
Yeah.
there was a superiority thing. They kind of deserve it. Well, I
Yeah.
mean, like doctors deserve to have a superiority thing.
yeah.
They
They also
I have
are
said
drug
all of the
addicts.
high skilled jobs.
Yeah.
That's it.
But also, like, working in a hospital is way worse than working as a dentist. Like, it's like...
Yeah, because also dentists are like small practices.
Yeah, well, and it's like if you're a fucking doctor in an emergency room, which they're all hooked on pills.
Yeah.
Like, truly, because you can't live that fucking life.
Also,
You're sleeping there.
If you're a doctor, if you're a dentist, you are the only medical professional in that building.
Yeah, probably.
Or at least in the dentist offices I've gone. Well, I've been going to the same one since I was a child.
There's usually like two or three.
In mine, it's just
dentists.
one guy, and he has 2 hygienists.
Oh wow, really? How small is that fucking office?
You know the Rabbit near where I used to live?
Yeah.
It was right there.
Oh, okay. So
I've been going to that exact same one for the last, I could just say 25 years since I've had teeth.
Yeah.
I've been going there.
So the one I go to is it's on like.
Well, you obviously had to go to a different one because you.
Well, when I grew up in Newmarket.
Okay, because you like moved like an hour away.
Yeah. I used to keep going to that one for years. My doctor's still there.
When my dad moved to Milton, he used to still go there. And then he stopped because he got in like a fucking... There's this one, the hygienist there that I always get now. I think she's actually the only one now because of COVID. Mm-hmm. She has a very rough technique.
Yeah.
But here's the fucking thing.
You like being chicken around. So
no. I didn't floss for a very long time in my life.
I still don't, yeah.
You still don't?
No.
Oh, well, here's the thing.
I think I got all fucking day.
It doesn't take long to floss.
It takes forever.
Here's the thing. I get inflamed gums because I'm a mouth breather because my nose is fucked up. It's very easy. So if you floss, it helps a lot because it gets shit out of your gums. And like your gums are less inflamed. So this woman didn't have a bad technique. It's just everyone in my fucking family doesn't floss. So she's like, oh, let me do this how I normally do. Oh, there's gum in the way. So my sister goes like, I hate that bitch. She makes my gums bleed all the time. Like, and me knowing now as a person who flosses, I'm like, and my gums are less inflamed. Up here they still are because of my mouth breathing, but down here they're totally cool. I bled once today. But my sister's like,
my gums bleed all the time, but I don't floss because I don't fucking want to.
Just get like the floss picks or whatever.
No, I have all this shit. It's just
it's gonna suck for a while because like you're gonna make yourself
I have
bleed.
a bottom retainer. I'm just fucking lazy. Like, and especially you have to, because like it divides my bottom teeth in half, so I'd have to floss the top part and then get like the sewing needle thing to do the bottom half of my teeth.
You just try hard. Who cares? Whatever. This is not a dental hygienist podcast.
Yep.
I don't even know how we got here.
I don't know.
Obviously, I did it, but I can't remember how I did it.
You were talking about doctors are like the only high skilled.
Doctors, dentists, veterinarians.
Or I would say like just simply most jobs or a lot of jobs require skills, including the fucking bottom line one.
But
you think being a fucking landscaper isn't a high skilled job or whatever?
Depends on how good you are.
I think it takes high skill no matter what you're fucking doing.
Well, no, but I mean, like, what if you're a shitty landscaper?
Yeah, whatever.
Then you probably won't make a career out of it.
Yeah.
I would say there's a lot of carpenters where I'm just like, bro, how the fuck do you know how to do that with wood?
Yeah, right? That's high skill.
Or contractors, they have to know, like, literally every part of the other skills.
Yeah.
Like, they have to, like, look at something. Like, obviously, they don't know every intricate thing, but they could be like, oh, this is how you lay it out, and then I'll get my electrician friend or whatever to do it, to, like, check the work and do it properly.
Or being a fucking visual artist, or a painter, or a photographer. That shit all requires a high amount of skill.
Yeah.
That's dumb. It's dumb the way people talk about other people's jobs. Like,
but the people who will talk about other people's jobs
people
are
who
like
do fucking office work.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Is the people who talk shit on like trade skills.
As somebody who currently does office work, you do not need to be smart or skilled to do office work. It's a dipshit job.
You know who is actually definitely the most? I think in like terms of like tradesmen.
Yeah.
From the bottom, I would say it's like carpenters. Mm-hmm. But this is like an uncharted fucking thing where it's like. It's the first, like, you know, you're at the bottom, but you're still better than everyone else. It's like carpenters, contractors, electricians, plumbers.
Would you say plumbers are the number
I
one?
think when plumbers actually have to do real
That's a
work,
nasty ass job.
It's a
nasty,
but it's a nasty ass job, and it's the most like.
I would say electricians are higher because you could die.
You can die with plumbing stuff. Like the gases are really noxious.
Oh,
but like you have to get like. if you fuck up one part of plumbing in a house, you can flood the entire house. Where if you fuck up one thing as an electrician, yes, the house could catch on fire, but that's like worst case scenario. Okay, they're both worst case scenarios. One is the water element, the other one is the fire element. But like a plumber, it's more likely to happen to fuck up the entire water system.
Yeah.
But like, there's a bunch of protections with electricians and shit, so they'd just be like, "Oh, sorry, I fucked that up. I had to go replace the fuse in the fuse box, and that's it."
Yeah, you know what? I do agree in like, yeah, plumbers do a lot. And, to quote my favorite plumber, swing your arms from side to side.
Come on, let's go do the Mario.
Take one step and then again. Come on, everybody, do the Mario.
Yeah, there's no fucking game about electricians.
I'm sure there is.
Yeah. Also, if you're an electrician and you have a problem, most of the time it's in the fuse box in the house.
Yeah.
Worst case, you break down a wall to fix it.
I mean, worst case, you zap yourself and fucking die.
Yeah. But I mean, like, as a shitty work day, as a plumber, It's like, oh, this could literally be anywhere on the entire property.
Yeah.
I might have to dig up like 5 feet down.
Yeah.
Just to get to a pipe, and then I might have to deal with the city and all that. Ugh. Yeah, so
that's about it. Read comics, because Demon Slayer outsold almost the entire comics industry last year. Which, I mean, like, it's not that Demon Slayer is bad, but there's a lot of great Western comics that I think people are just scared to get into. I don't know. Well,
because we've gone over this. Comics, you have to do research to figure out where to get into them.
There's a little bit of homework to be done.
But Demon Slayer, it's like, where do you start? Chapter 1.
Yeah.
Can I start in the middle? No. You'll have a bad time. With comics, it's like, where do I have to start? You have to start in the middle, and it might be a bad time.
Well, yeah, with comics, but I would always say, like, the alternative is, if I want to read some One Piece and see what One Piece is like, it's like start 20 fucking years ago.
Yeah, but also
jump back 20 years. Whereas like with Spider-Man, you can be like, there's like some shit that just started 2 years ago.
But here's the thing: how in the modern world, how you would get into Spider-Man is you would see a movie and say, "I want to know more about this," and then you would go watch, or you would go read the comics, or and you would probably go, "I'm going to read Spider-Man."
Yeah,
I'm going to watch. You saw the Spider-Man movie. Like Amazing Spider-Man 1 or something, you're like, wow, that was really cool. I'm going to go look at other Spider-Man stuff. You go watch the other 3 Spider-Man movies. Then you just keep going like down the rabbit hole. But with One Piece, it's like you can read the manga and go back 20 years, or you could just watch one of the movies.
Yeah.
And actually see, like, get a feel for the show and the universe and be like, oh, okay, I'm interested in this. And then you can choose to go back, like how you would with comics.
Yeah.
Or start watching the show. And then if you actually, unlike some like DC and Marvel shows here,
yeah,
you can watch One Piece, and then also that cuts out parts of the book. Like you could watch like up until One Piece has like its pacing issues.
Yeah,
because it has to do a lot of like mid-fight filler, like Dragon Ball Z style, where fights just like one punch takes an entire episode. So you could just skip and then go like, oh, where's the equivalent chapter of the manga to this episode? I'll just start reading. So
that is true, but I love comics, and again, part of the thing about comics that's great, and part of the thing that makes it hard is that you get all these different interpretations of characters and storylines.
I think comics should, like, Shonen Jump is dying in the state in Japan. Like, there's not a lot of like main things to go in the book anymore. It's probably gonna go all digital in the future, considering they have Jump Extra online, which has like more popular series like Chainsaw Man and like Spy X Family and other nonsense. I think comic books should do like a Shonen Jump thing.
Yeah, where you get a little bit of every book.
Yeah, you get like a fucking,
instead of having to pay $3-4 for an issue or whatever.
You drop like $30 on it or something, and they just send you this thick ass book every month
that's got an issue of like a certain number of the books, like all the, let's say, like,
here's the
Bat Family.
You get like a new Batman comic like every month, right?
Yeah, I think they started making them every 2 weeks now, but yeah.
Okay, so even better, just fucking drop them into like this thick book and send it out to people.
Well, that's just you're just describing a trade paperback.
But I'm saying to send them all out together.
Instead of you get instead of every month or every 2 weeks you get a new issue of just your Batman or whatever for $5. Instead, you're paying like $20 and you're getting all the new issues of all like the Bat family, like how Shonen Jump
like
works.
a $60 if you were to spend 5 issue on the paperback trades. You get one if you were to buy like all 10 of the ongoing series, it would cost you like $50, or you get the big ass book and it costs you $25.
Yeah, well, you wouldn't want to do that with trades necessarily. Like, but what I'm saying is like, instead of the way Shonen Jump works is like you get your trades of just your book, right? Of your My Hero Academia, you get like 10 chapters or whatever.
You get volumes, yeah,
in the volume,
which come out like every 4 months,
yeah, or whatever. And that collects some, but then when things are live, the new chapters come out together in this book with other books, and then you can kind of explore all of them, right?
Yeah.
I think comics should do something like that. I think most people like me, we want the trades for the individual books, right?
Yeah.
Because like, I'm reading Nightwing. I don't necessarily want to read all of the Bat
Also,
family.
Shonen Jump comes out every fucking week.
Yeah.
Like that huge book. But what I'm saying is, you can still get the smaller ones, have them come out on their like normal schedule, but then just collect them into like a bigger thing, like for like the more, like the less collectors, the people who just want to read it. Or actually just put it online. Fuck it.
I mean, it already is. Comixology is great, but I hate that it's Amazon, but I think that is a great service. It's probably the best comic reader out there.
Is there like a premium thing on that where like you pay for a subscription and read whatever you want, or
you can pay for a subscription and read certain things that are included under the subscription that are included, and then you have to buy other things, and you can buy trades and omni-buy and whatever. But it's almost always like a great deal. It's like a lot cheaper than physical, especially if you buy trades. Well,
that's what I fucking hate about physical versus digital things.
Yeah.
It's like, why is it the same price?
Yeah. So if you
why do I have to spend fucking $89 on a video game to get it on a thing that could possibly go away?
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to. There's like, it's money
that exists
straight to the developers.
Of deals with the storefronts, because the EB Games and shit would be pissed because they're already losing money.
They would be fucking eliminated.
Yeah,
and then like,
it's $10 cheaper if you buy it digital.
Then like Walmart would just stop carrying them as well. It's like, fuck you, no one's buying this. Amazon would have them, but on like a pre-order, like on a there's only 20 copies.
Because comic stores aren't big companies; they're individuals usually. DC and Marvel and all the other companies are happy to fuck them over by making comics cheaper digitally.
Yeah.
Although individual issues aren't cheaper digitally, but the fucking trade paperbacks and shit are.
I just think that in the future of video games, we're really just going to go to everything is straight up download only.
Yeah.
It's just that if you want to get a physical edition of the game, it's going to be like $20 extra, and it's just going to be the collectors.
Yeah.
And it will probably come with a download code and just like other shit.
Maybe. It depends. I'm not sure like you're ever going to 100% convince people to be rid of physical media, especially someone like me.
But there is people who are willing to do it. Like, I already got it. My fucking problem is that, like, if I buy something on the storefront goes away, it's gone.
Yeah.
And I think legally we should put it into place in like governments.
Yeah.
That if you have a digital storefront and people have bought the thing, you can turn off the ability to buy it, but forever someone should be able to use their account to go back and re-download it.
Yeah.
Or if, say, you have some DRM shit, once the game is out of sale, you need to release an update that allows the game to run DRM free. Because there's games you just can't run anymore.
Yeah.
Because they force so much DRM into it. Like, if you say you really wanted to play like original Mass Effect 2,
that one's fucked on PC.
It's fucked.
Yeah.
Like if they actually removed it from the storefronts, but it would just be fucked. Sorry, you're not on the Cerberus network. You can't fucking download any of the DLC without giving us $5 extra first.
That's stupid.
Yeah.
Okay, let's call it. It's getting long in the tooth. Thanks so much for listening and or watching, for those of you behind the camera, this episode of the podcast. If you'd like to follow me, I am at the Media Hulk. Or sorry, if you want to see the video versions, youtube.com/N8SComedy. You can see all the video versions of the podcast there. If you want to follow me, I am at The Media Hole on Twitter. I am at The Media Hole on TikTok. I'm at twitch.tv/TheMediaHole and www.whenyourballs.get-stuck-to-your-leg.tumblr.com. And if you want to follow Ian, he is at StrugglesV on practically everything. He's recently come under fire because he was sending his name to Dan Crenshaw because of how woke the military is, and he thinks that bad or whatever.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's okay. Dan Crenshaw's that fucking Republican who wears the eye patch.
Oh, yeah. Bye.
Bye.